Greetings everyone, and greetings everyone. It's me again, Eshkovas from London Pictures, and welcome to Streamlabs. Why do you want to be humongous? There's no reason. Oh.
What? Oh.
Oh, hi. World of Warcraft, they started the premiere, and now there's a 10-minute countdown, and I
know.
think
That's
that would
always
happen.
on YouTube.
Yeah.
Shut up by YouTube.
I'm streaming right now, in case you didn't know.
No, I didn't. Okay.
I did my entire intro and everything.
Yeah, when I just joined now, how am I supposed to know that?
Because you literally said hello the second I finished the intro.
Huh.
Anyway, yes.
That's me there.
Oh! That's coming.
Yeah, I looked a little bit earlier to make sure it's the right time, not that I miss it by an hour again.
Again?
I meant the last 2 days.
Oh. But yes, we are streaming my and your live reaction.
Yay. I hope you have the bingo card ready.
I do, but not the one you gave me, but the one I made myself that I sent you already. Ages ago.
Oh, cool. Then I will take this one.
Sure, if you want to.
Ah, dang it. It's too big that way. Yeah, then have it.
I'm gonna...
I assume you take the YouTube stream?
Yes.
Then I take the Twitch one. So we have both sides, in case there's something different.
There shouldn't be.
In case, I know. But the Twitch stream is also already starting, and with a countdown of 9 minutes left.
This is mine. I've sent it to you so you can verify that I... Like, in case I predict something stupid.
I remember that one, yes. Okay, then let me open this one. I hope I don't have Jesus.
You don't have Jesus? You need Jesus.
I don't have him, I won't need him, because I'm already fucked to hell.
That sounds uncomfortable.
No, I meant that yours and the one isn't properly sized for a separated window. AKA not in disco.
Do you have a countdown on Twitch as well? Because there's a countdown with Epic
10.
Music.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
With World of Warcraft pictures.
Yes.
Oh boy. I hope I can get the link this time, because last time I tried to get the link and then it connected to some random website. I just saw out of the corner of my eye that there were some, like, a bunch of anime pictures, and I was like, I don't have no fucking clue what that is. So I closed the stream, looked what was going on, and as soon as I closed the stream, it was gone again. I hope I didn't got hacked again. That would suck. If I got hacked again, then
Close this one.
I will, I don't know, flip a table.
Can I then?
Wow.
This there.
It's currently Arthas, my son, the Cataclysm reveal the Cataclysm trailer music.
Can I then, if I make this big, slideshow?
Just wanna show.
Make it small.
It's me again, Eshkovas from London Pictures, and welcome to Streamlabs. Why do you want to be humongous? There's no reason.
Hang on, I'm gonna do slideshow. I'm gonna mark this shit.
Greetings everyone, and...
There. Oh, there. Please tell me there's a shortcut for live chat.
I know. I just checked things and apparently it connected to... Apparently, there was another window that... Oh, okay. I know what went wrong. There was a random... there was a... It's in German. Why is it in German? There was basically scenes, and the scene connected it to... link. That's the word I was looking for. Link that was all like already in streamers for some reason, so it just showed something random. It does say me that stream is saved separately as privated, so I can delete it anyway. Can do that. There we go. People, like, there's people who think the next expansion will be a dragon-themed expansion, or at least heavily dragon connected, if not straight-up dragons. Oh, we're seeing like all the expansions that happened so far in order.
Huh.
I just realized that now because I was not really paying attention. With like concept art and stuff. That's amazing. The biggest emo orc of all time. Well, edgy emo orc, I guess.
Okay, then that is...
So we have classic, Burning Crusade, Wrath of the Lich King, Cataclysm, Mists of Pandaria, Worlds of Draenor. That means next there will be Legion, Balefire Azeroth, Shadowlands. Okay. Do you have any thoughts or predictions? Anything where you think, okay, that will definitely be part of it?
I don't really know. I want to engulf myself in this.
I mean, one thing is definitely clear 100%. Oh, we are on the Legion thingy now.
Dragons?
No, one thing is a given. The level is raised. The max level is raised. Like...
That's always the case, and new classes should already be a standard.
No, classes is not a standard. There have been more expansions without classes than there have been expansions with new races.
Wait, there is classes where the races...
We only have 3 classes that got added ever after the game came out.
Okay, then I'm probably spoiled by FF14. Because there were only 2 races added in the whole expansions, but every expansion got at least 2 classes.
At least 2? I thought most of them just got 1.
No.
Oh.
Since I'm having FF14 open on the side,
Nope, that's a loading screen.
The first
and here's Balefire Azeroth.
The first expansion got 3, a tank, a heal, and a range DPS.
You don't have to tell me now. I just was confused because I remembered it a bit differently. Okay, they started with Borealis music.
Now I want to mess it out.
If they don't do even a sliver of Zuldazar music in the BFA segment, even though that was like the best music, well, arguably, in my opinion, the best music.
2. The second.
Yeah.
Then Endwalker.
The Void and Azoth deserved more than just a patch, in my opinion.
Yeah, to the 3. Huh. Okay, all the chat is hyped in Twitch.
Hyped? Interesting.
Yes. Yeah,
I'm happy.
Hyped for a new expansion in general, probably.
I mean, I have to say, I'm happy that they are hyped. It's better to have hype and hope than to just straight out say, nah, this is gonna be poop. Yeah, there was not a single slither of Zulzar, sad. And now I have Shadowlands. I think Shadowlands was, like, story and content-wise, like, new place to discover-wise, it was definitely a... It was definitely a shot in the dark and a big risk they took. Because it was very alien. I think the... Oh, we're starting 30 seconds.
My stream is lagging.
I'm gonna deafen mute when it
online.
happens. When it starts.
Aw.
Like when the cutscene starts, I mean. Because they probably will lead with the cutscene.
Maybe.
Is it on max volume? It's by far not. Oh, yep, they will. See you in a few minutes. Never mind, it's a callback. All the cutscenes for now.
Okay, so
Okay, not
then
in
you're
even
just a
order.
few seconds ahead.
Wait, that one cutscene. Oh no, there are in-game cutscenes as well.
For the Alliance!
Why do you have cosplayers? My people. The next chapter of our adventure starts now.
For Azeroth!
Okay.
Yeah, we're at least 10 to 15 seconds apart.
Hi everyone, I'm John Haidt, General Manager for Warcraft, and with me today are my friends Ian Hazacostas, who is the Game Director for World of Warcraft, and Holly Longdale, who leads up the production team for WoW Classic. I really appreciate you tuning in. I know we're really excited to be able to give you updates on what's happening in World of Warcraft. But first, I want to thank our community for all the feedback you've given us this year, and especially our community council. You've helped shape and influence the updates that we've done recently and what you're going to see in the upcoming year.
I mean, really, for Shadowlands in particular, the story of the last 9 months or so of this expansion is all about the community, and it's shaped by what we've been hearing from them, and us realizing as a team that we just collectively needed to do a better job of making sure the community felt heard, and so that led us to the changes we made in 9.15, but also really re-examining some of the assumptions and foundations of World of Warcraft about things like character investment and mains versus alts, or how catch-up should work, or the appropriate role of friction in our systems. And I think 9.15 represented a step in the direction of letting players have more freedom to play World of Warcraft the way they want to play it. And we really built our Eternity's End content update from the ground up around those principles.
What are some of the things that the community said that influenced your decisions for Eternity's End?
Things like the method and pacing of acquisition of the Covenant Legendary item, tons of tuning, and I think every step of the way, we were listening to make sure that we were carrying forward those lessons learned in the course of 9.15 into Eternity's End and beyond.
So WoW Classic came about because of the community.
Yeah, they continue to help guide and support us as Classic evolves.
World of Warcraft has always been about the world and the players that inhabit it. And we are, in a lot of ways, curators and caretakers of that journey and of that experience. And so once this Classic community formed and grew, we had to listen to that.
It's
I
this
mean, to be
tide
fair,
of listening to the community and
also,
paying attention
guys,
to what
if you
is
want to
a
watch
good
and
experience
listen
for
to this
players now.
yourself, this is my
And where
reaction
we
stream,
really saw a
which is
sea
why my
change
face
in
is
this
bigger
idea
than
with
what
our
is actually
Season of
happening.
Mastery round, which is a season
season-
of Fresh Start Classic. And initially we were talking about it
but yeah,
like it was going to be
basically-
like a fresh start. Let's try this experiment in a season.
I mean, they
It'll be
try
about
to
a year
listen,
long.
but there's
and then when the community
there's
found
like
out about it, we
3
started
very
seeing this
loud
upswell.
minorities
just
who
took that
don't
idea
represent the
and ran
majority
with
of
it
players.
and turned,
Because a
you know,
lot
what
of
started
World
out
of
as a
Warcraft
small
players, like
community
the majority
project,
anyway,
into
just
this Soul of Iron
think like,
system that
nah,
became a centerpiece
we're not
of
gonna be
Season of
listened to
Mastery, and
anyway.
a whole new
Which is a
opt-in hardcore
ended up
mode that we've
being
seen
the reason
communities
why
built around.
they listened to the wrong
Lots
people
of,
at
you know,
first.
thrilling victory and painful defeat.
Which
5 hours. I made it 5
basically
hours.
caused all of this to come into
Yeah,
place.
and it continues. Like Burning Crusade Classic, we wanted to balance the Paladin steals between Horde and Alliance, so we made an addition there. We wouldn't have gotten there without the community's input.
So, influence the community. You've got another update and pretty significant controversial change for this.
Yeah, cross-faction play coming in 9.2.5, which is on a public test ROM now as a big
And
centerpiece.
cross-faction. You're breaking with a 17-year tradition.
Yeah, it's something. It was not an easily made decision by any means, you know. And I think this is another one of those areas where really we try to take to heart
Pumpkin, could
community
you not-
feedback and requests, and ask ourselves as a team whether there's a way to accommodate such an earnestly held desire and still feel like we're being true to the roots of the game. I think players' desire to play with their friends who might
That
prefer a
cutscene.
different faction, or to play with the faction that they more closely identify with, even though their raid group is elsewhere.
It's really important for me. I play a lot of alts, and I love absorbing the story for each race. And having that ability to play with all of my friends across factions is fantastic.
I
At
think
end
the
of day,
cross-faction thing is a
the
good
battle
thing.
cry is for the Horde. It's not against the
So
Alliance.
Grenadier,
It's
you
not
can
death
level
to the
together.
Alliance. It's about pride in one's faction. And I think there's a way to preserve that and even strengthen that while giving players the ability to make the
it's not
same choice we've
cross-faction
seen the
guild,
greatest
okay.
heroes make time and time again.
I mean,
I can't wait to
cross-faction
do
guild
this.
is
I'm seeing a lot of my
probably not
friends
gonna
that
happen.
I never knew
Because it's on
had
my
a
bingo
max level
card.
character in the other faction suddenly come out of the woodwork.
The
I mean, that
cross-faction
was-
thing
that
is
was-
cross-faction
With
guild.
these cross-faction groups, many of them are going to be
Oh,
diving
okay.
into something new that we're doing to kind of cap off Shadowlands. Is season
it's got
4,
some-
kind of a remix, a bit of a greatest hits, revisiting all of our raid zones
Nice
across
guild
the
story.
expansion, bringing in some familiar older favorites into the Mythic Plus rotation. And we recognize this is kind of a closing chapter, a little bit of a send-off to Shadowlands. As everyone gets ready for what happens next and what will come next, want to give a fun new challenge for everyone to sink their teeth into.
Really cool stuff for modern WoW players. I'm super excited about the gear upgrades that you're going to give me and the chance to go back and play some of those awesome
Did you
raids.
you
There's a
saw
lot
the
to
cutscene,
explore.
right?
Very exciting.
Which
For our
one?
next
Of the
adventure in
jailer
World of Warcraft,
defeated.
we're going to go
No.
back to Azeroth.
I thought you.
We're going to a space with high fantasy. I mean, our fans of Azeroth for a long time. This
I
has
saw
been
the one
kind
at
of the
the end of
foundation
Arthas
of much of
from
the
the raid.
lore of WoW. So, without further ado, let's
What?
watch the cinematic.
Anyway, cinematic time. Wait, that sounds elven. 10,000 years ago. Oh.
The world has been sundered.
Oh.
It cries out in pain. We must go to its aid. We entrust our ancestral home to you.
Wait! The Titanfall!
Watchers.
The Titan Watchers! Is that Alexstrasza speaking?
Let the land slumber, hidden even from our own eyes.
Even your own? Dragon
You will
Islands.
feel our return in the waking of the land. Then you must light the beacon of Tyrhold, lest the path home be lost to us forever.
Dragon Islands. I'm calling it! So 10,000 years... Interesting. Years ago, because of the sundering, they hid it. Oh. Yeah, they did not all survived. And apparently something stirred. Hey, he's not trusting it. Yeah, the cataclysm happened. So the cataclysm might have damaged this place. this cool dude. And also friends, no! I already want to hug this dude. Yep, definitely Titan stuff. That looks so 100% Titanish. I think this is the first time we see Titan stuff in a cutscene, right? Oh, their leader got kaput. He's like, okay, it's my turn then, I guess. I have a job to do. Dedication. Oh, and he's breaking as well. I mean, 10,000 years is a long time, even for stone. And he just does it with pure muscle mass. Stone bro. No! I fell in love with the stone bro so fast. Alexstrasza! I think she looks different. I mean, we haven't seen her in cutscene, the realistic cutscene.
The world is healing. But her fate is yet uncertain. Together, we shall be Azeroth's protectors once again.
Yes.
Here, the new age of dragons shall begin.
World of Warcraft Dragonflight! Oh! Not getting spoiled by some weird guys. Paid off!
Dragons!
Dragons.
This is so cool.
No one saw it coming.
No one saw it coming.
No one saw it
Kept
coming?
secret.
Come on,
But
don't lie to
seriously,
yourself.
I mean,
Everyone saw
what
it
did we just see
coming.
there?
The awakening of the Dragon Isles, the return of dragons, the dawn of a new age.
I mean, to be fair,
We've
without
seen
the
Rathian
leaks,
searching
no one would have
for
seen it
his father's
coming, to be
legacy,
fair.
Searching for the Dragon Isles. There's a reason why
Funny
he hasn't
thing,
been
the
able to find
world
them
is healing.
until now.
The beacon
After
going
all
off.
the
Is
brink of
that
death,
summoning
yes,
the
maybe.
dragons?
It is removing
Yeah.
the concealment that had hidden the Dragon Isles
But I
from the
wonder what
world,
place
but
it
also
is.
beckoning the dragons back urgently in a time of need.
I assume pretty good variety of locales within the Dragon Isles. It's
Yes, the Dragon Isles, as kind of standard for WoW expansion, consist of 5 zones, 4 standard leveling zones, and a new starter zone that we'll get to in a second.
Can you talk a little bit about how the team found ways to thread the dragon aspects throughout the environments?
The Dragon Isles are a place that is lush and primal, bursting with elemental energy. As Azeroth herself reawakens, those primal forces are expressed throughout the environment, whether it's magma activity, volcanic activity, whether it's the icy wastes of the Azure Span. And each one of those has a connection to a dragonflight that we've seen before. And it's going to be an amazing place for players to arrive at and explore.
all right. You know I'm going to ask.
Yes, okay, so
Can I be a dragon?
let's start getting into some features here and what Dragonflight means for you as well as just a place. So first off, yes, we have an all-new playable race, the Drakthir race.
Yeah.
This is a Draken, a draconic race, but dragons in
Look at them!
have the ability to take on a humanoid form.
What classes can they be?
They have unique abilities as literally a dragon.
There
That
you have
doesn't
it.
quite fit any of our existing classes. And so what we're doing is this is not just a new race, but it's also a new class.
What?
Adding a new race to World of Warcraft, and not just an allied race, is something that we don't do lightly, but telling this expansion, this story, so focused around dragons, felt like the perfect time for it. So if you are a Drakthir, you will be the Evoker class. Drakthir can only be Evokers, Evokers can only be Drakthir. And the reason why only a Drakthir could be an Evoker is that an Evoker is really combining the ability to call upon the magic of the different aspects with the unique physical gifts that a Drakthir has, the ability to actually take flight and do an Onyxia-style strafing deep breath over the battlefield, land on the other side, knock everyone back with a wing buffet, and then unleash your magical abilities.
Yes, please.
The Evoker has 2 specializations. They're a hybrid of either ranged DPS or healer, and they wear male armor.
I fucking knew it.
With the new hero classes we've added over the years, we have enough melee. We don't need more of those.
Yes!
And also probably don't need any more leather wearers.
The raid leaders are going to love you for that.
Exactly. This is definitely a hero class. And so that means that, like the Death Knights before them or Demon Hunters, they will be starting level 58, and then they're going to have a new starter zone. So they're going to have a slightly different journey into the Dragon Isles as opposed to the rest of us that are sailing there from other parts of Azeroth.
Can you talk a little bit about the customizations? Like what is going to be able to identify my Drakthir character?
Basically anything and everything. Skin color, hair color, jewelry, tattoos.
Oh,
other
look at
ornaments. You
that!
can make this character the expression of your identity in Azeroth.
New zone, new class,
Yep.
new race. Well, tell us about some of the system updates or features.
Of course, a new expansion brings with it, new systems, new features. I think in recent expansions, one of the things we've tended to do is really have these deep features that were closely tied to a specific expansion that would then get left behind as we moved on. And we've heard loud and clear from players that, it's kind of a bummer to start off every new expansion by leaving a large part of your character behind, by leaving a large part of your progression behind. So this time around, what we're doing is really pouring all of our energy into permanent revamps, overhauls, and improvements to World of Warcraft's core systems. Things like our progression systems, in this case, our talent system is something that we want to completely revamp. We want to take a look at our UI. We want to take a look at professions.
So with the talent
UI is
revamp
fine.
and the arrival of Classic, did you learn anything about how our talents work?
I think seeing a new generation of players play with those talents and work through those talent trees really underscored some of the things that, frankly, we lost when we shifted to the Mists of Pandaria style talents and beyond. A big piece of that was some of just the granularity, the feeling of getting a level and spending a point to customize your character to make yourself a bit better in some specific way.
Yes.
But also, that sense of hybridity that you could have. That's something that we've largely lost. And so the new talent system avoids directly pitting player power throughput choices directly against those sort of utility hybrid choices, because we know that there's always a right outcome there. And we also understand that there's a lot of strength in the flexibility of the modern talent system.
So many people will hate that because
customize their talents
it
for a
looks
particular
so complicated.
encounter or for dungeons versus PvP, and we don't want to lose any of that.
So John, UI?
Oh my God. Yes, I got this 30-inch monitor trying to keep track of where I am on the map, all my buffs, and over here, what's going on in chat. It has literally made my eyes go like this. So,
And you're not alone
Stop
in that.
crying.
We've made a lot of incremental changes and additions over the years, but really this is a revamp, this is an overhaul. And so we're excited to really modernize the look and feel while staying true to the
please.
origins of World of Warcraft.
Please don't
at the same
change
time,
it
we're not looking to
too
take
much.
away the sort of power user customization there. Add-ons are still there if you want them, but we want a much better default out-of-the-box experience for all players, new and old alike.
and can I reduce elements, remove elements? If I want to explore the world and see the beauty of Azeroth,
When it comes to specific elements, as much as possible, we want to let players choose what to show and what to hide so that they can control it themselves.
You mentioned professions. I have a critical question about this.
Go on.
Can I wear a chef's hat?
yeah, I knew it.
Our approach to professions in Dragonflight is really all about delivering on fantasy and identity as a crafter. And so if you want to be a serious blacksmith, if you want to be a great leather worker, we want to deliver the ability to invest time and energy into that, become a master crafter, be able to make items that are in demand, interact with the community. One of the big pieces that we want to do to support that is a new work order system to
be
have
so
a bit
awesome
more
for
convenience than
RP.
just spamming trade chat all day. But if you are someone, you're not yourself a blacksmith, but you have a bunch of mats and you want them forged into a great sword, you can put that work order up, list your mats, offer a
Yo!
commission, and a skilled blacksmith can come along and make you the weapon of your dreams.
Oh, that is
I
amazing.
think we left out one thing, though.
The work order thing.
Be a Drakthir, go to Dragon Isles. Can I have a dragon?
What's the fantasy of dragons, if not soaring over the lands? And so we're really excited
In-game
to introduce a
commissions,
feature that we're
nice.
calling dragon riding. It's dynamic
Dragon
with
riding.
everything from momentum to dive bombs, the ability to just sort of build that speed up and feel the world rushing past you in a way that should be much more exciting than traditional flight that we've made available in the past, but that's also available for players through a customizable dragon mount right from the start.
So
Yo!
That's good.
this is a
Plus two
skill
flyers.
you learn over time, right, to become an awesome dragon rider.
Yes, you'll be able to sort of upgrade aspects of your flight, but you will have this new form of flight from the start. And the Dragon Companion that you have is, of course, very thoroughly customizable, which is a new thing for us for mounts. This is not just a generic dragon that everyone has, but a drake that is yours. What do you want its scales to look like,
This is a
horns,
couch,
the
yeah.
shape of its head, other attachments, armor pieces, and more. Take your pick.
This is so cool.
So yes, the Dragonflight
Okay, hold
expansion
on.
is going to see players
Is this just
leveling to
Eshkovas fan
70,
service right
going
now?
to the all-new continent of the Dragon Isles, which consists of 5 zones, 4 standard leveling zones, and a new starter zone for our Drakthir class, as well as a range of systems revamps, such as a new talent system, an overhaul and update to our UI, and an entirely fresh look at professions with more depth than ever before. Also getting around the Dragon Isles is going to come in the form of dragon riding, which lets you customize and upgrade your own mount so that you can fly in a sense from the start. And of course, as with any new expansion, we have a new set of dungeons, a raid, and much more to come.
We also have an alpha that will be starting up in the future.
Check out our website for more information and keep an eye out for those opt-in signups if you want to help us test out Dragonflight and give us even more feedback to make it better.
We do have a deep
This
dive
is
that
so
follows
awesome.
this, so please stay around. Classic players, we haven't
need to
forgotten
look at the
about you.
talent tree again.
You could probably guess where we're going to go next. One of the all-time favorite expansions for World of Warcraft. Let's watch the cinematic.
Go.
Forgotten. Did you think?
Lich King for classic.
Just begun. Not my king yet. Argent Crusade comes for you and of your father! Of your people! For all the lives you've stolen!
My son, the day you were born, the very forests of Lordaeron whispered the name Arthas. When my days have come to an end, you shall be king.
Oh, fuck yes. That revamp was actually cool with Frostmourne reforging and all those voice lines from Warcraft 3.
It's just incredible, isn't it? Every time I see
Next year,
the
maybe
cinematic,
this?
I get
Oh.
chills. No pun intended, I do. I get chills.
Next year.
As you saw,
Nope,
we have-
Wrath of the
we have
Lich King
22 already.
Classic is
Yeah,
coming
because
this year. It brings
Oh.
back so
Stuff like
many
a few.
memories. When you see that cinematic, what do you remember from Wrath of the Lich King?
Anytime you want to talk about undead frozen dragons, how can you not go back to Sindragosa as the source? That was the first expansion I played with my youngest son. So I can remember on that platform, black goo and chunks of ice falling off and having to repeat that battle with the Lich King. But when we finally downed him, it was such an incredible moment. He jumped up out of his room and I jumped up out of my office. We're like, yeah, I did it. So it's a very lasting tale for me.
So as you know, with this expansion, you will, in pre-patch, be able to play the Death Knight. They will start at level 55. You don't have to have a high-level character to make a Death Knight.
Oh, that's
so
different.
everyone will be able
That's
to make
different.
one.
We're excited to give players
Good,
some
50.
time before Wrath
I know
officially
you're-
launches
yeah.
to get geared up and ready
I'm
to
talking
jump
more to the
into
stream than
Northrend
to
with
you,
everybody
sorry.
else.
And there are so many zones and areas to explore in Northrend, and I want us to talk about some of our favorites. So for me, Grizzly Hills has a very special place in my heart.
Oh,
The
yeah,
music was some of the
Grizzly
best
Hills.
I've experienced in World of Warcraft.
I still make my way all the way up to Storm Peaks to try and find the time-lost Protodrake, and have yet to get it.
I've got to say Dragonblight. The wide open nature of the zone, Wormrest Temple in the center of it, it's an unforgettable expansion as both a developer and a player, and kind of making that transition from one to the other.
Now let's talk
Curse
about
that
some
thing.
changes. So one thing we looked at
Curse the
is
time of
Dungeon Finder,
Protodrake.
and it feels like how we envision
tried it.
Classic Dungeon
I don't
Finder
know how
is
long,
not a
and
good
then I
fit
gave
for our
up.
community.
That was
On
kind
a,
of the first
I,
step that we
on
ever
a
wrote
private
into
server
that
my,
social
my
fabric.
brother was,
Now,
where the
as
drop
people have gone
chances
through, the
were
experience of going back to vanilla,
increased
rebuilding
by-
those groups, relying on
Drop
each
chance is
other,
one thing. The
not
chance that it
wanting
even
necessarily a
appears
random
is another.
participant just to show up
yeah,
and then
even-
leave.
especially,
Yeah, that
but
makes
like
total sense.
But today, you can do that in Shadowlands. You'll be able to do that in Dragonflight. It's a self-selected group of people who specifically want that different experience.
Yes.
Let's make sure that's what we continue to give them.
That leads right into arena teams in Burning Crusade Classic. So we listen to the community and we remove that because individual rating is preferable and a better experience for them than arena teams. Also, with Wrath of the Lich King, Barbershop, which allows you to customize your character. We're going to be adding a few more options that were not existing when Wrath launched, but also there's another side of this where we are not going to charge a real money fee. It was a paid character customization fee, right?
Yeah.
It seems the right thing to do that just be available in game for
Working
gold,
with
and we
Lich
add more options to it, right?
It's sort of like spell batching in a sense. There's a lot of technical advancements, and it's not about the philosophy of what makes classic classic and what brings people together. It's just what's the better experience, and let's not artificially restrict something that we can provide a better version of just for the sake of nostalgia. And we're happy to say this is one of those cases.
So, Wrath, the level cap's being increased to level 80, so we'll be introducing a level 70 boost so that players who want to get in with their friends or just explore Northrend right away will be able to do that. You can't
might
apply it
actually
to a
get
Death
there.
Knight, but you will be able to use it otherwise. And of course, we have Inscription, a whole new profession, so we're really excited about that. Yeah, and as we continue this road to Wrath, we're going to be looking to getting a lot more feedback on beta, and we'll make changes as we need to.
Such an exciting time to be playing World of Warcraft. We have the return of the Wrath of the Lich King for classic fans, and taking us somewhere new with Dragonflight. We're so excited to be able to bring these adventures to you. Don't forget, there's
What's
a
that
deep
camera?
dive
What
on
was that camera
Dragonflight.
angle?
We're going to get a
I
lot
feel
more
she got cut
information.
multiple times.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us.
she was
and we'll
cut
see you in
multiple
Azeroth.
times.
And we'll see
I've
you
seen
in Northrend.
like
and in
first
the Dragon Isles.
the thing is we know about we know about Wrath of the Lich King, so like it was basically just
Hi there. Welcome
rehearsal
to the
of things already
Dragonflight Deep
said
Dive.
and
I'm
already
Steve Denuser.
known.
And I'm Taryn Gregory. Starting it off here, we're going to talk about the setting and the story of Dragonflight.
We've got this great
What's that
expansion,
Story of
exciting pre-render
Dragonflight.
trailer that everyone just watched. So let's talk about the setting for Dragonflight, the Dragon Isles.
Dragon Isles have been known for a long time in Warcraft history as a mysterious place where the dragons came from long ago, but we never knew much more than that.
We're going to this place that is kind of the broodlands of all the Dragonflights, the place where they nested, where they built their civilization. The Dragon Isles was the center of the Dragon's kingdom when the world was young and the mortal races were just starting to form kingdoms of their own. But when the Legion invaded for that War of the Ancients, that sundering that resulted from the explosion of the Well of Eternity, broke the world.
Literal sundering of the continents of Azeroth.
And because of the breaking of the world, that magic kind of drained away and the land went dormant. So they had to leave the Dragon Isles behind. And as we saw in the pre-render, they left behind some Titan Watchers to look over the land. And when someday they hoped that elemental energy would resurge once again and draw the dragons home, reestablish their kingdom.
And that's when the message goes out to the flights and they feel it in their bones.
Now it's the time for the sky to light up with the colors of the aspects once again, and for Alex Straza and the others to come home. But the land has changed a lot in all these thousands of years they've been away, and some very old threats have awakened as well.
We're looking into the culture of dragons as they exist in Warcraft.
Dragons, as we know them today, were very different in the early past, the early history of Azeroth. They were much more primitive, much more savage. What we now know as proto-dragons.
And then some of the dragons were empowered to become the aspects. The green flight, red flight, blue flight, bronze flight, black flight, each with unique powers, each with the ability to protect the world in different ways. These pillars of draconic power appointed to defend Azeroth from threats within and without.
Dragons used that power both for good, in the case of most of the aspects, but also for nefarious reasons in the case of the black dragonflight led by Neltharion, who would become Deathwing.
And what we will find in Dragonflight is that some of these ancient divisions run deep. And so it begs the question, where do we go from here? If this is an opportunity to reclaim their legacy, to be the protectors, as the cinematic mentioned, that they once were.
To do that, they're going to need the help of our heroes, our players, to come to the Dragon Isles with them and face some of these reawakening challenges, because it's not just that this land is peacefully waiting for the dragons to return and reclaim it. There's those old enemies that have awakened as well.
Yeah.
One of those being a race of kind of elemental half-giants, the Jarradin.
The Dragon Isles isn't just populated by dragons or just by the Jarradin. There's also many other occupants here in the Dragon Isles that have been here either just recently or for a while, including a fan favorite coming back, the Tuskar.
That's going to be awesome.
Oh,
We've got
Return
other
of the
cultures
Tuskar.
there as well in the Dragon Isles. We're going to find out about a civilization of centaurs that predates the ones that arose on Kalimdor much later.
And some of our favorite characters that we've seen over the last few expansions, such as Rathian.
And whether he's ready to step up into a leadership role, or if there are other alternatives out there that would be better suited to the job of being the aspect of the Black Dragonfly.
I think one thing the players are going to be really excited about this expansion is the new playable race, the Drakthir.
That's right.
And this is something that Neltharion, before he was Deathwing, before he went full crazy world dragon, that he put into motion.
Neltharion saw those primalists that were kind of breaking away from the aspects and what they wanted. And so, in those first experiments, he took the essence of dragons, their strength, their nobility, their wisdom, and he combined it with that scrappiness, that adaptability that the mortal races had. And he wanted to use that to create the ideal soldier in his mind, the Drakthir. Exploration is really one of the key themes of this expansion. We're going to be going to this ancient place that the dragons left behind long ago. So we've made these huge zones with all kinds of places to delve into and find little treasures and little secrets tucked away. It's going to be a lot of fun for players to be exploring these landscapes.
And there's so much architectural history and how clearly aspirational was the kingdom of the dragons and how it lost so much. And the themes of trying to return to that, to try to find your legacy, to try to figure out who you were before everything went awry. But there's questions, thematic questions of what does it mean to be true to your legacy? Are we going to repeat the mistakes of the past?
The dragons have had to learn those lessons just like the mortal kingdoms have had to. And I think that's one of the reasons why the dragons see this now as the time that they have to return and they have to step up once again as protectors of Azeroth. We're helping the dragons because the dragons have helped us in the past too. So by using the Explorers League and the Reliquary together, that allows us to delve into some of that history.
And when I look upon the Dragon Isles and all of its visual splendor, I get so excited for the prospect of a truly Azerothian adventure alongside Calicos, along with Rathian, Ebonhorn, with Ysera's daughter Marithra, as each one of them is trying to find their own flight. I am taken by the exploration and the potential for adventure and just new horizons within this world.
There's going to be old stories from that time past, that history that only the dragons knew for the longest time. We're going to be able to explore that.
It really feels like just a breath of fresh air.
So now we're going to turn things over to some of our colleagues who will take you on that deep dive into the locations and the features of Dragonflight.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Stephanie.
I'm Josh.
I'm Jackie.
And I'm Gary.
And we're part of the teams that are building the first two zones that you'll encounter in the Dragon Isles, the Waking Shore and the Onaran Plains. The very first zone in Dragonflight you're going to come to is the Waking Shores. It's wild, untamed land. It's waking up around you too, and the elements are just going crazy.
The art team, again, has hit it out of the park.
You'll see like a lava mountain flowing in through the beach, giant proto-dragons swooping down, gobbling up members of your expedition.
We have such rife opportunities to show elementals rising up because of the crazy magic that's flying around.
The one of the things I love is just how you get to the Dragon Isles, right? So you're gonna get on your boat in Stormwind or Orgrimmar, and the first thing you do is sail between like the dragon ruin architectures. The boats come right alongside each other. You can jump from one boat to the other and just start causing havoc on the other faction's boat.
For those who love PvP, this is a great opportunity for War Mode.
It's free for all out there. It's gonna be great. But it's okay. There's an innkeeper on the beach, so that if you're in that situation and you don't want to be in war mode anymore, you can just hop out right there.
Oh, God.
The Reliquary and the Explorers League are working together.
The Horde and Alliance are sending an expedition together. It's not the military, it's not the soldiers. This is the scientists, the settlers, exploring this new land. So it's a lot more optimistic tone.
One of my favorite things about the Waking Shores is the Red Dragonflight, led by Queen Alexstrasza, the Lifebinder.
Oh.
They have the mandate of nurturing and protecting all life, which means Horde and Alliance, Gorloks, trolls, everybody. So they take that duty seriously. When the Horde and the Alliance come to the Waking Shores, they want to be there to help guide the people through the new land and welcome them. But they're not the only one in the Waking Shores.
We have the ancestral home of the Black Dragonflight there too, which has fallen on tough times since Deathwing's descent. And so Rathian's coming over to the Isles with us, and he's gonna try and come to terms with the state of the Dragonflight, which is a few loyal Draconids and Dragon Spawn trying to hold their ground. What can the future of the Dragonflight be if it's just Rathian? Because it's not just the dragons that are coming back to the Dragon Isles, but also their longtime rival, the Jarden.
I love the Jardins so much. They're half giants that wield the power of magma. And when the Waking Shores and the Dragon Isles went to slumber, they also slumbered. They're back now, and they are ready to raise chaos.
Yeah, they're massive. They're riding giant lava mammoths, parading around, just stomping on your face.
And they were the enemies of the Dragonfly for so long. They fought against the Red Dragonflight, hunted dragons down, and they're really taking this opportunity to rise up. As the Red Dragonflight have the mandate of nurturing life, they don't want to just stomp out the Jarden completely, but they want to make sure that they don't have the power to affect those around them negatively, to make sure they don't go on a rampage and destroy the ecosystem that has been created here.
And so those are awesome things in the Waking Shore, but Steph, there really is only one right answer for the best thing in Waking Shores, right?
What?
This is true. Ducks.
We finally have those webbed feet hooligans in our game. We cracked the technology.
They
We've
can
got them
figure
in.
it out. They
Yep.
can fly.
You should be proud.
Thank you.
It's gonna be awesome.
The Onaran Plains come
Finally,
right after
ducks.
the Waking
I'm gonna
Shores.
tame a duck and
It's
name
so
its name.
breathtaking at first glance.
The Onaran Plains are big, wide open plains. And the player is going to be constricted a little bit, and then you see this big contrast of a zone. We don't always get that opportunity, that cinematic moment where the player can have a framed view when they see this area.
Come out and you got that postcard shot
love
of the
that.
plains. And then you see this giant fire proto-dragon breathing fire and a herd of centaur like harpoon down the proto-dragon and crash into the ground. And the first thing you get to do is go help them kill the proto-dragon. Like, how cool is that?
Who is Onara?
Onara is the wild god of the wind. And she's appeared before as like this big spirit eagle. She's the one who guided the centaur to the Dragon Isles many, many years ago. She blessed them, took their caravan across, and then showed them the plains.
How fun at the beginning of this expansion was exploring the culture of the centaur.
The centaur are these mighty, awesome hunters that back when they first came to the Dragon Isles, they fought the green dragons all day long. Eventually they realized that we're strong, you're strong, maybe we should stop decimating each other's people. We'll make peace, we'll make an agreement. You guys hang out in the groves and the centaur will hang out in the plains. But now the dragons have been gone for 10,000 years. And the centaur have come so far since then. And they've been here and they've been existing and developing their culture. They all came over as one clan led by the mighty Maruk and Tira, and they founded a new life here. So if you want to get across, you have to follow their rules and their traditions. You have to earn their trust. You are the first outsiders to come in generations upon generations. The centaur might rule the open plains, but the green dragons make their home in the groves. And those groves are absolutely gorgeous.
And how great a job it is that we have where I can take all of this beautiful artwork and build these beautiful fantasy groves, high fantasy. We want to do lots of things with an open plane, and we want to be creative with that. But we're restraining ourselves by letting the zone sing, letting the horizon tell the story. We certainly couldn't have done that in the vanilla WoW.
No, definitely not. The zones are so big and you can see so far, especially in Onaran Plains. So we talked to the engineers and we actually increased that distance.
It spurs you on to want to adventure and look through the zone and explore everything.
The interesting thing for me is we have all these conflicts with the dragonflights. There's missing dragons, there's battles, there's so much crazy stuff happening, but that's not really all we're doing. There's so much extra fun activities for people to do. And the greatest thing is that you need to figure out exactly what's going on and help solve all the problems that are just sprouting up everywhere.
We're just really excited to tell a story that's grounded in Azeroth and exploration. There's so much more to talk about. But now we're gonna have some folks talking about the next 2 zones that players are gonna experience in the Dragon Isles.
Azure Span and Thaldraszus.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kate. I'm Christy. I'm Kate.
I'm Sean. We're going to talk today about Thaldraszus and Azure Span. So Azure Span is going to be the 3rd zone that players adventure through, and it's one of our biggest zones that we've done in the Dragonflight, maybe even to date.
We knew it was going to be like the largest visual elevation change, and it really started with this great concept art. When we first were taking a look at the design, we kept coming back to one of our favorite Wrath zones, which was Grizzly Hills. And we really wanted to take that, but wowify it more. And I don't know if you've ever been up to the Bay Area, but in the morning, that coastal fog comes in and dips down into the redwoods and that sun shines through. That's really what we wanted to encapsulate with this forest. And not only we have redwoods, but we've got all different types of trees. Eventually, it'll break open into this wide open tundra that's just golden and red, and you'll reach up to another level of elevation where you get to see the snow. The majority of the zone is covered in snow and ice. We have giant frozen waterfalls, ice rivers as far as the eye can see. And Sean, I know in the forest, we can expect our first creatures.
We have a small group that lives there called the Gnolls. These gnolls are all throughout the forest in Azure Span. They've made this their home. Some gnolls with strange magic that we're going to find out what exactly that's about. Snow gnolls, or as I call them, the snolls, up in the winter area. And some regular gnolls that are just going to be around the forest area. So then we go into the big open tundra where we meet our second group, the Tuskar.
It's going to be really neat to explore their culture a lot more. And those kids are adorable. I absolutely love the Tuskar. Honestly, all my downtime's probably just me hanging out with the Tuskar.
So it's been a little while since we've seen them. We remember the Tuskar from Wrath of the Lich King. They're also getting a nice, cool up-res for their models, along with expanding their culture. So there are going to be male Tuskar, female Tuskar, Tuskar kids. So we're going to fight alongside them, which includes help from a certain group of dragons, the blue dragons. Yes. We're going to follow the story of Kaligos, our blue dragon buddy from the Kirin Tor, and he's going to be adventuring into Syndragos' archives. It's a giant zone. There's a lot of surprises. When we're done there, we head over to Thaldraszus.
I called it.
It's really incredible because you will be going through some of the previous zones and seeing a lot of ruins for the dragon buildings. But when you get to Thaldraszus, everything is perfectly intact. It's beautiful. It's pristine. It is the seat of power for all 5 dragonflights and home of the dragons. It feels that way with the huge vertical mountains. We've got these great cave systems where you may end up finding little dragon hordes.
My favorite dragonflight right now is the Bronze. They've got a really cool area in Thaldraszus, and their magic is time. There's so many cool story hooks that we could dig into there. There's so many cool gameplay options. And we have a little bit of an adventure for players. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I can't wait.
We really wanted it to feel like their old stomping grounds. One of the really cool features is going to be the main city and player hub for this expansion, Valdrakken. It is a culmination of all of the dragon's efforts to put together what a city would look like. So we ended up having a bunch of really fun small vignettes where you see that the blue dragonflight is hosting a public library, and the red and green dragonflights both have their own separate gardens. We'll also have some convenience services for players, including an auction house in the city, which will be really nice if you're looking for more exotic wares. The thing that really sold me on Thaldraszus was the initial concept art we got of Tierhold.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. And this is a 10,000-year-old Titan technological marvel. Tierhold has these awesome aqueducts that actually come out from the structure all the way to the city across the valley. And in the cinematic, there's just this amazing shot where you see Alexstrasza swoop under one of them, and there's splashes of water cresting across her wings. So when players are flying around themselves, they get to have their Alexstrasza moment. What an incredible place, and filled with so much history.
Tierhold was built by Tyr. He was a Titan Keeper back in the day who helped the Aspects fight Galakrond. And when they settled on the Dragon Isles, he built this facility. And even though Tyr's gone, the dragons have held him in reverence. But that was 10,000 years ago, and they've let the Titans maintain the place. An incredible amount of history has happened since then. Lights have been nearly wiped out. There have been invasions, betrayals. Aspects have died. And these are the kind of things that leave marks on a society. So now they're all back here, and they're all here together.
As we were designing the zone and the city itself, we're trying to figure out, how do we tell those stories at the same time as making sure that this is a really convenient place for players to go and, go shopping, as they tend to do. So much adventuring happening on the Dragon Isles.
It's so cool.
As a player, you probably don't have your own dragon wings. You are going to learn the art of dragon riding.
It's so vertical, and I'm just excited to dive off the tops of towers and swoop under things.
It's actually one of the things that we're about to learn about next.
I'm so hyped already. Even if this is
I'm Jake.
all the expansion offers.
And I'm Graham, and I'm really excited to talk to you guys today about the Drakthir Evoker, our new race and class coming in Dragonflight.
We're here to talk about not only the Evoker, but also dragon riding, which is our exciting expression into the exploration of the Dragon Isles.
We knew with a dragon-themed expansion, we wanted to let you play a dragon. Not a big dragon, Alexstrasza size. That'd be tough to fit into raids. I'm sorry, Jake. Okay. I know. But a draconic humanoid. So the Drakthir, created by Neltharion.
And like our other hero classes, you get to choose if you want to start on the Horde or Alliance side on character creation.
So let's talk a little bit about the Evoker, the class they can be. What's unique about it is because the Drakthir are created by an aspect, they have the ability to wield the magic of all 5 dragonflights. So Evokers can take advantage of red magic and blue magic and bronze magic.
And to show that, we created a visual, what we call a prismatic effect. This prismatic effect is basically the coalescence of all their energy as they channel it into whatever spell that they're going to cast. You have a red magic spell called Pyre. So when you shoot it out of your mouth, it twirls in the air with all 5 of the Dragonflight's magic as it turns into the red spell before landing on your enemies and exploding and hopefully burning them.
I'll take that one. Getting that vibe across that they use all 5 was really important to us, but we did want to make sure that each specialization focused on 2, because casting 5 different colors gets a bit messy. So their damage dealer specialization, their first of 2, Devastation, mostly focuses on red and blue magic. Red being very fast and explosive, burning everything with Pyre, whereas blue is more focused and overwhelming. You can shoot a beam of energy out of your mouth to disintegrate one single enemy in front of you.
There's a healer spec called Preservation. The healer spec is going to focus mostly on your green and your bronze magic. So your green is going to be evocative of the Emerald Dream, your growth and your nurturing spells. And then you have your bronze magic, which is going to be more timey-wimey. So you get to heal a wound faster.
So in addition to the visuals and the animation, which all make you feel very powerful, we really wanted the player to have a physical connection to the cast. We have a new type of spell called Empower, where when you actually hold down the button on your keyboard, it charges up the spell. The longer you charge it up, it might do more damage or hit more targets depending on the spell. But it gives you this really physical connection and control that's new for World of Warcraft, and I think is feeling really, really good.
We have some great animations. Thank you, Andy, your team.
You love it, Andy.
You feel physical when you're casting your spells.
You can actually fly around the battlefield and cast while you're flying.
Raining fire and death from above. It's great.
In addition to the gameplay, though, another part of feeling draconic is looking like a dragon.
Well, we talk about dragons breathing fire, but you know what's actually fire?
What's actually
These
fire?
customizations.
Oh my goodness.
But no, they're really, really
They're
cool.
awesome.
Because you have both your draconic form and your humanoid form. And the customization options for both of them are amazing.
They're very good.
What about color? Just tell me you
tell
can
us about
change
the
the color.
You can do a lot of matching. So your Visage form can have scales that are the same color as your Drakthir form.
But my favorite, super favorite part of customization for the Visage form, hair.
Yeah.
Because I can actually do this in game.
Yeah.
The check is here.
We finally did it.
As players make their way through each of the areas of the Dragon Isles, they'll partner up with the Dragonflights to move through the air as they've never done before. You'll notice I did not say flying, because flight has a very specific meaning for World of Warcraft.
Yeah, it does.
And we're talking about something new called dragon riding.
And as the players are honing their dragon riding skills, they're going to get to see all new animations that go along with the different look and feel of the drakes.
We're aiming to shake up movement with this new system, providing players with a deeper immersion with forces like momentum and gravity.
We knew that for Dragonflight, we were going to have the opportunity to
Yes.
show players a whole new set of Dragon Isle drakes, completely unique from all the other things they've seen in World of Warcraft. And so we wanted to come up with a movement system that would add that sense of physics, weight, and gravity, like you were mentioning. We knew it was going to take a huge team effort, not just animation, but it was going to take effects. It was going to take the engineering team, who we rely on heavily, and that combined with some new animations really helps to lend that feeling of physics as you move through the air in ways that you haven't before. And the icing on the cake is going to be some really cool effects that we've added on top of all of that. So for example, when you start hitting, maximum velocity, you're going to see contrails coming off the edges of the wings. And then as you do your rolls and spirals, you build up more and more speed. There's going to be some screen effects on the display to indicate that you're reaching maximum velocity, which really adds to the overall kind of immersion and sense of reality.
As players make their way through the Dragon Isles, they'll discover new cosmetic options to fine-tune their Dragon Isle Drake's appearances. Things like snoots, horns, tails, elusive Dragon Isle Drake armor, and more.
Can I have spikes?
Definitely.
Okay.
We want to provide players with all new skills to play with, as those who can use their momentum well can reach higher and higher heights, and bring on new, more difficult challenges.
We just have so many new gorgeous options to choose from, and I'm just so excited for all of them.
I'm excited for the whole thing. I mean, it's been a lot of fun to work on, but I can't wait to actually get in the game, play it with you guys.
I can't wait. I can't wait to fly around Dragon Isles. It's gonna be great.
Next up, you're going to hear about the talent revamp and the UI changes coming in Dragonflight.
Okay, that is less interesting to me, so I can talk a bit more.
Hello, my name is Brian.
I'm Crash.
I'm Jay.
And I'm Laura. We are very excited to share you're finally revamping the WoW HUD UI.
And it is also time for a major revamp
What if
to
they go in
talents and
order, they'll probably start with
specializations.
the UI.
I have a big question for the
So we
group.
can talk.
How long do you think it took for us to finally revamp the WoW HUD?
My guess is like 15 years.
Close, 18 years.
18 years.
18 years. Wow.
You know, technology has changed a lot since we made the UI back in 2004. Now you have like bigger monitors, and us, we have better dev tools to work with. So it makes sense to have the revamp right now. Also, if you look at the game today, the art evolved beautifully over the years. And if you look at the HUD looks like it got frozen in time.
So when
I
we
still like
approached
the
this,
HUD.
we wanted to create
Yeah,
a layout
it looks
experience that players could
immersive.
customize, move
maybe
things
that's a
around,
classic
adjust it
version.
to fit their needs.
Add-ons today, they do a lot for player customization.
The downside is that not everybody uses them. It's about time that everybody has the opportunity to use them, that they become a part of the base UI.
Yeah, and we are working very closely with our user research team to make sure we are hitting the goals that our player needs.
It allowed us to add new functionality, to improve accessibility in a lot of areas, and on top of that, we are going to be improving the art.
Yeah, so the art update, it's a big part of this project. The UI that we have today has a lot of charm and personality, and players have been using that for 18 years. So with that in mind, we want to respect the players who really like the current UI, but do a modern take to it, removing the clutter and giving more visibility for your gameplay. So the new minimap, it looks bigger, and the health bar is also much bigger. If you look at the action bars and the bottom menus, they have less head frames, and it can really open up your gameplay, so you don't have a lot of your UI in front of you.
like
And
I
of
said,
course, we
maybe
want to
there's a
find
version to go
iconic
back to
pieces
the
from the
classic
current
one.
HUD, but we want to bring it
Public,
back
maybe.
in a nice way. So we for sure updating the Griffins. They look so nice now. And the Horde, don't worry, we got you. You're gonna have your version as well. So let's talk about the edit mode.
We are putting a mode in that will let players move various HUD elements around on the screen.
So I'm able to move the mini-map, say, from the right corner all the way over to the left corner. Or if I want to bring my action bars from the bottom and kind of put them more in the center by my character, those are all things that I'll be able to do?
Absolutely. And each of those different components will have various sets of options that you'll be able to work with. They'll be able to save it, edit it, copy it, name it.
No, I
also,
think it's nice that
it'll
it catch
remember
up to
which
that.
spec you're in. So if you're someone who jumps around a lot, as you switch, it will
not the
switch
word I
to
would
whatever HUD
be
layout you
using.
have for that spec.
This is an ongoing project. We're going to keep working on it. So we really want to hear back from you.
A project that we're all excited about, that we've been collaborating a lot on, is something that's pretty UI intensive, and that's the talent system.
I also don't like
in a long time,
that,
like you
like,
said before.
the edges
And we really
completely,
started
like,
with
the feeling
how can we
of
have
I'm
players
playing
have
World of
more choice
Warcraft
over
and not
what their
just
character
any
has.
game.
As you level up, we give you a new spell
a
or
big
a new
part
ability,
of how I like
something that kind of
what I
makes
like
you
about
stronger,
how the UI
but
looks,
it's
how the
determined by the
mini-map
designers.
looks,
We
how the
decide the
windows
order.
look.
Yeah, we started
how they
looking for a
not
system
get
that would
lost
give players a
within
much
the
wider set of
worldview.
options.
And after looking at all those things, what we really
First,
returns back to was the
I
idea of
only
trees.
meant now
It's actually two
the
trees.
moving
We have
around of
a class
everything
tree that
on the
offer
UI.
different
That's an
class
F4
utility,
thing.
and then we have
Yeah,
a spec
I was
tree
I'm
that
also just
is
giving my-
focused on
I was also
performing
just
that
giving my
role, whether
general
that's damage
opinion
tank or healing.
Can I
about
just
what
jump
I've
in
seen.
and say that I personally am super excited
And
about having trees come back. There's a
I-
big nostalgia hit for me.
There will
As we said, we have these two
probably at least
trees
one add-on
because we feel like picking a
make it that
specialization is
it
a really
looks like
important
just
part
before
of
the
your World of
revamp.
Warcraft character.
I mean,
now.
I
And so
hope that
I
would
wanna make
be.
sure
I
that
hope
when you
there's
choose
also
that,
just
it
an
kind of affects the
option
tree in
because
some
I
way.
like that
Yeah,
the
as
map
soon as you
has
open your
like
talent tree,
an
you'll see
actual
something new.
visible
The
border
class side
and
will
like
have
some
some
art
abilities
around it and
filled out
stuff
for
like
free,
that,
just
and
kind of
how like
starting you
the
off
windows
in
have
that
like
spec you've
certain
chosen,
art
but then
to
you'll have
go
your
along
first point
around
to
them
spend
and
in the
stuff like
class
that.
tree, which could be
And
something
like the
related to that
UI with the
spec or role,
buttons
or it
at the
could be
bottom,
something
I
from
like that
elsewhere
they
in the class.
were like
There's a lot of
certain
things that we
field
can do
with
here,
like
and part of that is
border to
encouraging
it.
players to perhaps
I
make
like that
combinations
feeling
that they've
because
never really been able
that
to
way
see
it
in a
doesn't
game
look
before. This is an
invasive
opportunity to put a lot
to
more
the
art
world.
and fantasy in the actual talent UI itself.
You have seen that a lot through most recent expansions, but not the base UI.
We want you to be able to tinker with it. You know, we want you
there's
to
an
be able to
arcane
make a
circle
lot of
going
changes
slowly
at a lot
around
of
it.
times, and not
Yeah,
necessarily
but I liked
have to commit.
I liked
The
how the
power
design
really is
was
coming back to the
originally.
player.
I
It's
really
not
liked it
something
because
we
it just
want people to feel
gave
locked
this
into,
nice
and
border.
So one of the
Like
things
it
that we'll
didn't
be preserving is the ability to change
overflow.
these
It
talents
didn't
at the same kind of frequency that
invade.
you do now.
Like there was a
Yeah,
clear,
the old school players,
oh, this
when you
is
see
UI and
trees
this
this
is the
time,
world.
just think, yeah, I'll go from my raid night to my arena match
like I said,
and
there-
figure out what I
breakage.
think is the best for both
Maybe
And that's a
there
process
is
we
an
want to
option
make really
to go
fluid.
with-
So
to go
we're
to
building
the
a save
normal
load
one,
feature that lets
before the
you
revamp.
create your
I hope
build,
they showed,
save
like-
it, save it, and then
But
the
I
build
hope they
is
showed,
very
like-
quickly
at least
freely.
one add-on
Talents
for
were
it.
really about the breadth of options. We've made all these different cool things over the years, but when
I really hope. I mean, I'm also interested in the talents
the building
things.
blocks of what can make up their class, their spec, and put them together in a way that works for them.
So these are really cool features that we've been working long and hard on, and we're very excited about them. And
Okay,
just an early
they're
preview
finished.
of the things we've
But
been
yeah,
doing. We can't wait to see the reaction that you have to them. And
But the
please
thing
reach out
is,
to us
I
and let us
personally,
know
I
your
just
thoughts on them.
liked
And next up, we're going to talk about
the way
Confessions and
the
Dragon
UI was because it wasn't so invasive to the world around you. You could clearly tell apart
Hi, I'm
stuff
Joanna.
like that.
And I'm Eric, and we're going to talk
And
about
you
our
could
plans
clearly
for
like be
Professions
like
in Dragonflight. Professions
your
been a
eyes
staple of
dart
World of Warcraft
towards
forever, and they've seen
what
lots of
is
really cool
clearly
incremental
pointing
updates
out
over
and
their
stuff.
But for
And I don't
Dragonflight,
like
it's
it when
a bit
it's
different.
when you
really wanna
literally just
rethink
have like a
Professions and figure out how
circle
to
and,
make them part
it's
of your
just the map.
identity
There's
as
no
a
border,
player.
no
That's what you
nothing.
want. We
I
really
don't
wanna
like,
make
for
sure
example, how
that
yours
Professions
looks,
feel
how
fun
you
and
have it.
relevant
Of course,
across all
that's
levels of
completely how
gameplay.
you have it,
That
and
brings us
that's
to
fine.
our first
But I
update,
personally
something
do
we're
not like
calling
that look.
crafting orders.
I don't
If you
like
wanna have
when,
something crafted
again,
for
the
you, but
UI
you don't have the
is
skill or the right
too
profession to do it for yourself, you can have it crafted
homogenized
through a
into
crafting order.
the
You can basically
browse any
everything
of the recipes
else.
that can be crafted.
Like there's
pick the one you
no
want for
difference,
yourself,
no
and
border,
then
no in
you
between.
include some or all of the reagents.
Like for me,
needed
that's
the
not
recipe,
immersion.
including
For me,
ones
that
only
is
you can get your
immersion
hands on.
breaking,
You can find
actually.
someone in person
And
to
for
do it
example, that's
right
one
in
of the
front
big
you
things
for
I
you.
don't like about the
Or
Final
you can also
Fantasy
go to an
UI.
NPC
That it looks
using an auction house-like
so
interface,
just
send the order out.
a
If you're doing
modern
this,
thing
you can
in
pick,
this
do you wanna send the
fantasy
order to
world
anyone, sort of a public
that
order, or
just
you wanna send it to
breaks
the
with my
guild,
immersion so
or
much.
to a specific other player. Maybe it's a friend you
The
will be able to craft
best
really
title
well for you.
most
If you
players
are
gave
really
FF14
dedicated to your
as a
craft,
Final
you're gonna be
Fantasy
the best at what
theme
you do.
part.
One of the coolest things about
Because
this
there
is
are
the
parts
item you had
of
crafted
the
can
old
also be
ones, the
sold
classic
down.
ones.
Yeah, but that
In
has
the
nothing
past,
to do with
you could
what I
only
just
get your
said,
hands
did it?
on
Yes,
crafted sold down
wait for
items
it.
by having that
Or
profession
even the
yourself.
high
Now anyone
technological
can have them
parts
crafted
of
full,
13.
which is really neat
But
and
still,
really
there's-
expands
partially
the
present
number
in
of
the
items that
UI.
we can provide.
Yeah,
that are
but
really
the UI
powerful,
looks...
because everyone can have
Again,
them crafted.
there's a different
crafted in
topic
our
now.
system.
This is also really cool because it means as a
Professions, yes.
crafter, you can start building your client base. People are going to come back to you to get certain items. Maybe you're the best at making it, or you always throw in a little something extra. You're also going to be leveling up your profession. It's going to be really great.
So the first time you go to craft, you're gonna notice a lot of different things, but probably the biggest is the introduction of quality, both to your crafted items and your gathered reagents. Quality works in a pretty simple way. If you craft something that's a higher quality, it's just gonna be better. For a piece of gear, that probably means a higher item level. If it's, for instance, a potion, that might mean a more powerful effect at a higher quality.
And we're doing a lot of new things in the UI. We've put a lot of work into it to make sure that the professions feel really special and unique.
And another thing you might notice in the crafting UI that's new is the introduction of stats, specifically to your professions, both crafting and gathering. And this is another sort of major input into quality. Probably the biggest source of your ability to craft items at a higher quality is through crafting specializations. We've had crafting specializations in the past, as far back as original World of Warcraft. With Dragonflight, you can go out and earn specialization points in a whole bunch of different ways. So maybe you find an old book on a bookshelf in a ruin somewhere, or a hermit in a cave who can teach you a little bit about your profession. So let's say you're a blacksmith. You might decide that first you want to become an armor smith. And the more points you spend in armor smithing, the better you're gonna get at crafting all armor.
This also means that if you specialize one way, other people in your guild may specialize in a completely different path. So this means that your guild could have several top blacksmiths and everybody's providing something unique and valuable to the team, which is really cool.
Now that reminds me of
Just
another
balancing
update.
is an issue.
We're actually adding crafting tables to all the different crafting professions. We're gonna take those and we're gonna put them all in the main city of Valdrakken. And you're gonna go in there and you're gonna get to see all the different players crafting their items at their cool crafting tables.
Yeah, it means you're gonna walk into the city and you're gonna see like all these alchemists huddled over here, and you're gonna see all these blacksmiths over by the forge. There will be other players filling orders or grabbing orders. It's gonna be a whole new crafting area that's gonna make you feel really part of the world.
It just seems like a much more lively area than it has in the past.
What I'm most excited about though is the gear. We're introducing new types of gear for every profession. And when you go to say mine a node, you're actually gonna just switch into that gear. It's gonna be really great.
You're not gonna have to carry that stuff around in your backpack anymore. There's actually gonna be dedicated slots for each of your pieces of gear.
Yes.
But I'm a numbers guy. I love progressing. All pieces of profession gear will have those special stats that we mentioned before on them. And as you get your hands on better versions of the gear, it's really gonna help you get better at your profession.
I can't wait.
Thank you for tuning in to the Dragonflight Deep Dive.
You've heard a lot about the content and changes coming in Dragonflight, and we've got a lot more in store for you in the coming months.
Until then, we'll see you in Azeroth.
Learn more on worldofwarcraft.com. Okay. So this seems to be over now. So crafting stuff.
I'm scared about the crafting stuff.
Oh, why?
No, the profession thing, good. That there's a specific place for the stuff you gather, good.
Not gather, but like the tools you need. Like, for example,
Yes.
you don't need a fishing rod in your bag anymore. You don't need a pickaxe in your bag anymore, etc.
The client and commission stuff, also good. I'm scared about the high quality shit. Because that's an FF14.
Oh, that sounds you're scared. It's a good thing, but you're scared because something.
No, because for
What do
some
you
things
mean?
and probably for raiding, it will be very mandatory to have only high crafted stuff.
I mean,
And
that's already
those
a
are
thing.
partially hard to get depending on your gear when you get or buy it.
Legendaries in Shadowlands.
Spare scratches on it.
No,
Not to that high extent, but a little bit.
Well, have you been yourself within the crafting scene?
No.
Exactly. You have only seen the consumer side. like
Yes,
with all professions, even in real life, if you just see the consumer side, you just scratch on the surface. And there was like when you reached max level with a profession, you had to craft these specific items in order to skill them individually, in order to make stronger versions of them.
Yes, they build
Which is
on
why I
top of
never
each other.
bothered.
Yes,
crafting the legendaries myself.
Because of boredom, I leveled at least in FF14 all the crafters up before the last expansion did hit.
Anyway,
But
I think I like that there's like specializations.
Yes. I
like
love the okay.
I like basically everything about that. I'm just scared that like, oh, if you become a weaponsmith or armorsmith or whatever, that there will be a clear higher demand for one of the two because they messed up the or like it's either higher demand or like higher reward in the long run. Like, for example, you could go weaponsmith, which a lot of people will be looking for because there's only little weaponsmiths. But armorsmiths just get way more gold in the auction house and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like that there's a balancing issue. And like that is a system that's extremely freaking difficult to balance. Even for seasoned people who like balanced stuff in games before. And I mean, again, with the UI thing is like the only thing where I'm like, please don't change it too much, or at least give me the option for the change to like stay closer to how I knew and love the UI and what I like about the UI in World of Warcraft. Because the UI in World of Warcraft was one of the main things that kept me in World of Warcraft rather than in comparison to other games. And a lot of JRPGs have like this very lean and sleek looking UI that's basically just looks like a browser tab opened in your game, and I hate that style. I hate that look. It's absolutely, no, this is not the world. I'd rather have a piece of parchment with an iron bar around it, even though that does look clunky and takes up 20 more pixels than it has to and stuff like that. It's cool, it's immersive, and it looks like it belongs into the world. You know what I mean?
It's still called user interface. You probably sure can customize it.
They said they can customize it, but so far they've only shown, we're
the
basically
newer
turning World of
versions.
Warcraft a bit closer to what Final Fantasy is, which I cannot imagine why they would think that would be a good idea. Looks at every single player that posted online, I hate WoW now, I'm gonna play Final Fantasy now, and be a toxic person there instead. Oh my god, the amount of people that bombarded me with World of Warcraft, just run away from it, just change to Final Fantasy, it's the best game, it's better, everything's just amazing there, there's no bad
can you stop about that now?
No, because it has been just constantly for the past year, and I'm sick of it.
I know.
It's not you, I'm not talking about you, you have been very nice and very calm about asking me to play that.
Yes, I know, but I mean the topic in general.
What do you mean the topic in general? I'm streaming right now. This is the topic.
I meant the topic about the F14 versus WoW.
There was no versus.
They changed the UI how they see fit. I don't think they lean to FF14. That's their way of making it quote-unquote modern. There will maybe be an option to turn it to the way before the revamp. There will probably an add-on to make it the way before.
Probably.
Because I don't know, as far as I know the community, there will probably be one.
I mean, probably. Maybe, perhaps, nothing was mentioned. I'm just commenting
Because
the things I
fucking
observed.
thing was just now revealed.
Yes, I'm just commenting on the things that were shown, that were said. For now. And I'm just saying that, okay, what I have seen, I don't like.
Yes, I'm thinking about yesterday about the topic of anger issues on my point.
Yes. But
okay.
to dial back to other parts, I almost called them Dragonborn for obvious reasons. The Dragonkin? What were they called again? Draconoids? The dragon people.
Yeah, that video is up for this thing now, so we can go back and forth to it.
Yeah, I mean, still have the stream video open. But yes, the Draconoids. Amazing. The only thing I am confused about, and maybe the department that designed it that way didn't do their homework.
Or maybe they're just not done yet because it got freshly revealed. They
No,
don't have 100%
Listen. Red, the aspect of life and renewal, is damage. What? Like that?
Yeah. We had that talk last somewhere earlier.
Yeah, we had that ages ago. Like red, like the red dragonflight is like the healer part in general. And then they made the choice to make the bronze into into like a part of the healing spec. I think red and bronze should be swapped.
Red is maybe about also conserving life, like protecting things.
Yeah, but there's no tank class, no tank for that class, no tank skill for that class.
Which is why it got pushed to red to damage.
Which doesn't make any sense. If it had to get pushed anywhere, it would be heal, and it's just like, why would you?
I just hope for your sake that there will be an explanation for it in the end.
I mean, Neltharion, the Black Dragonfly created those creatures, so maybe they stripped all the life essence stuff, all the life stuff from red and just fire because Deathwing had a fire fetish.
Yes.
But like, that is such a like every single dragon fan that like looks deeper into red dragons is like, yeah, they would be straight up healers or melee healers, or like they're like basically like paladins would be, minus the like whatever. But you know, it's like that is such a weird choice that I do not understand. I mean, sure, fire equals damage, but if you know just a bit about World of Warcraft dragons, you know that the Red Dragonflight is about life, preserving life, healing, all that stuff.
Yes, but how would you go on time with damage?
Basically the same thing.
If you put bronze into there.
Basically the same thing how mages did it with the time warp and their time abilities, or basically just the hero ability and stuff like that, like more haste or slowing down enemies, like a more like debuff and buff part of it.
That still goes from my perspective into support, which would lean more into healing. Like they said, healing faster.
Yeah, but there can also be a damage thing, like mages do it and have done it.
I know about the rewind one. I know about the hero ability.
I mean,
haste,
have you played Arcane Mage?
No.
There you have it. Because time is an arcane mage thing, and Zorgon was arcane mage. Or yeah, I say was because I might reskill. But like, again, it is such a weird choice to put the literal aspect of life into quite the exact opposite of for what it stands for.
Like I said, there will probably be an endgame explanation to this. But I'm, for myself, now torn, because I'm a fan of the Green Dragon flag because of Isera.
Yes.
And I can agree that green is heal, but I don't want to heal. But I will make my Dragtheer green, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. And
he will be fucking green, even though he goes damage. I don't care.
I mean, in the end of the day, I think the whole customization thing is so that players can do whatever they want. But in theory, obviously, if you go for a certain Dragonflight's abilities, I think in the lore, the dragons would be more prone to have that color. Like one that uses more red Dragonflight things. But I think they are actually like a chromatic group, because again there were spells where they shoot out a rainbow and then it turns into the color and bashes down. So I think that basically every one of them, no matter the color, have basically the ability to go every way. But if they in the lore would specialize in a certain way, they would have a certain born specialty, a specialty they're born with. Their color would reflect that, maybe. I mean, we have to find out. But in the end of the day, the only issue I have is that the 101 healing healing aspect is now damage, which is the one that's most far away from healing. And I fully love that we talked about, like, oh, there's we have, like, every single hero class was a melee and tank and damage. And then the only other one was monk, and that was melee, tank, damage, heal. And I was like, yeah, we need a hero class that's heal damage. And they knocked it out of the park. I knocked it out of the park with, yeah, that's something we need, and it got done, and it's amazing.
And also scale armor. Which is why I think, again, back to the crafting with the commissions, I think it's good that the crafter, when they go armor proficient, they focus with the new people, at least, who go straight on those classes, because there will be a fucking influx of those.
I mean, definitely.
They can just chug out male armor to get rich.
I mean, maybe. I don't, there is a minimum, they start at a level, and I didn't hear if they said you need a character of level XYZ in order.
I don't know. Like I said, the video is up. We can scroll back to it and re-listen.
No, they actually didn't. I actually didn't think they said it. That there's a level requirement that an alt need, like, for example, that you need to unlock them or whatever. Like, because every hero class so far was, oh, your main character has to unlock that class. And so far, I'm a little bit sad that their humanoid forms majorly look just like human elves or like half elves, basically. That's like a thing where I'm like, I mean, sure, they look very draconic all over their face, but yes. I want to have a short, wide one, or just an orc-looking one. I mean, maybe orc-looking one is a bit because they were aliens to Azeroth, but maybe a troll-looking one. That would be cool.
I mean, you could look back to the aspects. How much of them look more elven than other?
That is actually, like, based on the culture on the individual flights. And I mean, Chromie! Freaking Chromie!
Oh, yeah. Bronze and gnome.
Yeah. And, like, the thing is that a lot of
Is Caligos human?
Caligos has a half-elven shape. He was described as a half-elven shape in the comics where he showed up for the first time. Though his old model was old and didn't had enough polygons to show it off. And I love that he gets a model revamp, even though it looks still a bit clunky, but again, it's early views. And even if this is like everything we get, and everything else about the expansion is mediocre at best that we haven't heard of yet, I still will like this expansion.
Yeah.
Dragon flying, even if dragon flying is completely restricted to the Dragon Islands, I'll be happy.
Yeah, I rewatched this now because of the Dragthea, because of the spells.
Dragthea, that's the word.
Yeah. The thing they shot in there was a red magic spell called Pyre, which had the rainbow thing. And the prismatic effect is probably on each spell. And maybe that also depends on which talent you pick. That maybe changes.
They did state having everything rainbow at first and then change color would be way too much. So they didn't do that. That's a thing they did specifically say about that.
Yes, but I think like the prismatic on the healer aspect can either heal more or be a hot and heal faster if we go with green and bronze. Like, or blue and red, I don't know. Red is more AoE and blue is more damage.
I mean, AoE also damage, but yeah.
Yeah, but they said blue is more focused.
I mean, there's so much, and there's so much to unpack and unravel and think about. And maybe they will make a thing where, like, they can look like other mortal races.
Maybe
humans,
down the road.
Yeah, but the humans and the elves have, well, especially, like, half-elves and stuff, they've been the most adaptable. That was a thing in, like, what was mentioned a lot, like, the humans are the most adaptable. So it makes sense that Deathwing would base it mainly off of humans. But still, but also they have, like, the Worgen thing going on. They have, like, two shapes.
Yes, that's the part I like also.
Yeah, I like that as well. But yeah, that is... I'm trying to think, like, everything else was likable. Or neutral, because that's a part that interested me less. But the new zones, like, as always, the new zones look gorgeous. The art team is always amazing.
Yes.
The theming, the only thing that confused me was this, like, the giant, the giant thing. There was about the giants, because, like, they're, like, it's like a race of dragon hunters, and apparently we, like, maybe they're connected to the Ettins, because there's not really there hasn't been a lot of lore about the Ettins. But they have been known to, like, pick dragons from the sky and stuff. But other than that, it's just the Grunts in Draenor / Outland that did dragon hunting, big creatures that did dragon hunting. And you know what's weird? Remember the Draxlatha?
Yes, why?
Giants that hunt dragons?
Oh, god damn it.
I was like, I have to tell that a bit. Like, Draxlatha literally is the Old Norse for dragon slaughterer.
If will be an enemy with that name, I'm gonna beat you in the head because you're more available than them.
Why though?
Because
it's not my fault that we have same ideas. I had the idea of the Draxlatha was, like, came into existence 2011, 2012, around that time.
Yeah, and now go please ask the
not the
team
idea
that
came
made,
in, but like.
And now please ask the team that makes Dragonflight.
Yeah, but they entered RP around that time. The basic existence of them was there a bit longer because of Lestat, etc. But yes. But I think just giants that hunt dragons is apparently a more occurring thing, especially in World of Warcraft. But even though this is the first time they look that humanoid. But also, I love how it's basically an elemental swap, because the Draxathar in our lore are more like mist and like cold, while these are magma and lava.
I'm skipping now in the video to the talents.
And
what about the bingo?
Hold on. The centaurs. So at first it was said way back when before, which made me be like, the centaurs got created by the daughter of the Earth Queen, the Earth and Elemental Lord, having a relationship with a Grove Keeper. There's an entire dungeon explaining that is the origin of the centaur. But then later they said they took one of the tribe. I don't know if that was a miscommunication or misunderstanding on my side or whatever, but it sounded like they told two different origin stories. But it makes more sense that they took a tribe of the centaur, brought them over, and they were able to develop into something more of their own culture instead of just the beasts we knew from Classic and stuff.
Yes. Also, the Isles were asleep for 10,000 years, and I don't know how long the centaurs have slept there or were there before that.
No, the centaurs apparently got there. Like, everything that was on those islands was already there 10,000 years ago, because it was bubbled.
Yes, I know. I mean now, when or what's the date on the creation, what we know from Classic, what you just said?
Of the centaurs.
Yes, when was that?
Not
in which dungeon, but which on.
And I know. The chronological centaur creation. Wow. Centaur of Wikipedia, because this is the first thing I can find. History background. Though legend held that they were the bastard offspring of Cenarius, the barbaric centaur race were begotten by Zeta, son of Cenarius, and the earth elemental princess Theradras 1,100 years before the opening of the Dark Portal.
And when was the Dark Portal?
The Dark Portal was 40 years ago.
40, yeah.
So there's 9,000 years missing. Like 9,000 years.
Yes.
That
what if those on the Dragon Isles are the source ones, and then just the legend sprung about when they came to
That's not possible, because the War of the Ancients that capsulated the Dragon Isles away from everything so that no one could touch it was 10,000 years ago.
Yes.
Not 1,000 years ago.
Yes, I know. Still there, yeah. They went off before, then yeah, still 9,000 years would be missing.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I don't fucking know.
I mean, this is wowpedia.fandom.com, so that is maybe I heard that a bunch of things on this website are technically not canon. And stuff like that. Like for example, they had like things that were said canon before they that never were canon, or were later stated no, this is only canon for the RPG, etc.
Somehow it wouldn't surprise me if WoW somehow retcons this. Somehow it wouldn't surprise me if the WoW team does retcon this somehow.
Yeah, but this is Wowpedia. This section contains information from the Warcraft RPG, which is considered non-canon. Okay, so apparently there was Okay, this is definitely like the origin in the RPG is completely different to this, what I just read. Like in the origin for the RPG, the World of Warcraft RPG, long ago, the Kaldoroi god Cenarius bore 3 children, the Centaur, the Dryad, and the Keeper of the Grove. However, one son, the Centaur, grew to despise his beautiful siblings. Huh. This is the official bestiary fandom.wow. It's a half-humanoid horse's history. The legend, it's the exact copy pasta with no dating, though.
Maybe that's something we will learn about in Dragonflight.
It is kind of weird. To be fair, it is kind of weird that they chose these, even though this race is apparently just 9,000. It's just 1,000 years old. And I actually thought they would. I actually thought they were older. Not 10,000 years plus old. Like the thing is, I don't think they were a thing back during the War of the Ancients. But maybe that was retconned already, and I just didn't notice, or it's not written here anywhere. But I guess the history background, 1,000 years before the opening of the Dark Portal, might have to get changed on the wiki page. However, there have been moments in the lore, like in parts of World of Warcraft, where they mess up the zeros and the thousands, because like some things like that were 10,000 years ago were said it's 1,000 years ago and stuff like that. Like they did mess up the zeros in the year numbers quite a bunch. Like, N'Zoth is not just 1,000 years old, he's probably closer to 100,000 years old than to 10,000, because, like, 10,000 years ago, the Night Elven civilization was on their peak, and they had to build the civilization somehow. And in order for them to be able to build that civilization, at least... like the big Troll Empire was there first. And before the Troll Empire, which was a couple thousand years old, there was the war of freeing Azeroth from the Old Gods. And the Old Gods were in Azeroth for at least a couple hundred, if not 1,000 years.
And like I said, maybe this will somehow explained in Dragonflight.
Maybe they will just retcon it because it's easier. I mean, World of Warcraft and retcon are almost on the same page in the dictionary sometimes. Which I don't like. I really don't like retcon. You could make it work differently by just saying there was an island where the Kolka, where that one clan thrived and grew, or whatever, you know?
Okay. Setting that aside for now, because that's a thing we only can figure out when this thing comes out.
Or if people be like, "Oi, Blaze, you messed up your own lore again."
Again, yeah. Wanna go over talents or wanna finish first the bingo?
I mean, what is there to... The thing is, there's not really much to say for me about talents, because a lot revamp back to olden days of talent trees, which I like, looks very, very complicated, and it looks a lot like a lot of people will have a big headache with how it was displayed right now, because it looks like, oh no, like a lot of World of Warcraft players that are like in the higher like mythic rating and stuff like that, they don't care about customization. If it would be for them, you would have one talent that you click once you're level 60, and that's it.
Yes. Which is why we maybe should go back to the talent part of this thing, because we talked over that.
I mean that as well.
You were angry about the UI.
I wasn't angry about the UI, I just said and explained why I didn't like that. And I don't like that. I don't like that modernizing for some people means homogenizing, which basically means making it all into the same thing and making it look transparent and see-through and like a freaking browser tab.
So now,
that's
if you
where did the talents start in the HUD start?
1 hour, 3 minutes, 20 seconds.
On is something that's pretty UI intensive, and that's the talent system.
It hadn't changed in a long time.
Boy, I'm listening to it now.
Like you said before, and we really started with
what?
So we can time it so we can watch it together again.
Okay, I'm at 1 hour 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
Wait a second then. So okay, 3, 2, 1, play.
how can we have players have more choice over what their character has?
As you level up, we give you a new spell or a new ability, something that kind of makes you stronger, but it's determined by the designers. We decide the order.
Yeah, we started looking for a system that would give players a much wider set of options.
And after looking at all those things, what we really returned back to was the idea of trees. But it's actually 2 trees. We have a class tree that offer different class utility, and then we have a spec tree that is focused on performing your role, whether that's damage, tank, or healing.
Can I just jump in and say that I personally am super excited about having trees come back. There's a big nostalgia hit for me.
As we said, we have these 2 trees because we feel like picking a specialization is a really important part of your World of Warcraft character now. And so we want to make sure that when you choose that, it kind of affects the tree in some way.
Yeah, as soon as you open your talent tree, you'll see something new. The class side will have some abilities filled out for free, just kind of starting you off in that spec you've chosen, but then you'll have your first point to spend in the class tree, which could be something related to that spec or role, or it could be something from elsewhere in the class.
There's a lot of things that we can do here, and part of that is encouraging players to perhaps make combinations that they've never really been able to see in the game before. This is an opportunity to put a lot more art and fantasy in the actual talent UI itself.
You have seen that a lot through most recent expansions, but not at the base UI.
We want you to be able to tinker with it. You know, we want you to be able to make a lot of changes at a lot of times and not necessarily have to commit. The power really is coming back to the player. It's not something we want people to feel locked into, and so one of the things that we'll be preserving is the ability to change these talents at the same kind of frequency that you do now.
Yeah, the old school players, when you see trees this time, just think, yeah, I'll go from my raid night to my arena match and figure out what I think is the best for both of those.
And that's a process we want to make really fluid. So we're building a save load feature that lets you create your build, name it, save it, and then load it up very quickly and freely.
Talents were really about the breadth of options. We've made all these different cool things over the years, but when are they at their coolest? It's when players can hold the building blocks of what can make up their class, their spec, and put them together in a way that works for them.
So these are really cool features that we've been working long and hard on, and we're very excited about them. And it's just an early preview of the things we've been doing. We can't wait to see the reaction that you have to them, and please reach out to us and let us know your thoughts on them. And next up, we're going to talk about professions and Dragonflight.
Okay, only one thing I didn't knew was you can basically make your skill trees, save that, and then just do a different one for raiding and do a different one for that. Like that I love.
I would like you to skip back to 1 hour 5 minutes 8 seconds, because there's one of the big skill trees.
For druids, yes.
Yes, this is both druids.
I mean, of course, yes.
I look at the if I can get it on the balance one. If you look on the bottom left, you see the part with loadout and how many you can at least make. But I'm
8 seconds.
Yeah, 1 hour 5 minutes, about 8 seconds, I think, or 11, somewhere there.
It's not something we want people to feel locked into.
It's not.
And so one of the things that
was
we'll
a
be
bit
observing
later.
is the quickly and freely.
Yeah,
For both of those.
For me,
feature that lets you.
There you go. It's 33 seconds for me.
Huh? Weird. Okay, and I will be on the balance one. Can you please count the points in the talents? Because on the bottom right of most of the talents, there's a number.
$13, $15, $17, $18, $20, $22, $23, $24, $25, $26, $27, $28, $29, $29 or $30?
I count on my druid half 30, but there are two, the most left ones that are separated. There are also, so at least 32. And now on the spec side, on the
I counted the spec side. I think it's both 30. I think the example character they took here is level 30. Because they said an improvement each level.
Yes, but I would say you get at least 1 point you can speed in one of those trees. Because if this is really level 30, then oof.
Why oof?
Wait a second. Huh? Yeah.
Yeah, like to me, I think the thing is, if it's not level 30, and like I don't know what they will do with the level cap. Like if they will basically hold on.
What's the max?
Hold on. If they do it the way that it was implied with Shadowlands, which would be put Shadowlands down so it is from level 10 to level 50, like every other expansion that is not current anymore? Or will they just, on Shadowlands on top of that, put another 10 levels and it's now 70?
What level are we on now on Shadowlands?
60.
I would say...
Oh, no.
For each level, we get 1 point to distribute in each tree. So 1 point on Druid... No, basically a pool, and then we can have 3 on Druid, 3 on the class side, and 5 on the spec side. That because in total...
What?
Like, if you are level...
Like this character, like
I go with level 15 because specs unlock at level 10 mostly. That you have maybe 5 on one side and 10 on the other. Not that you get enough to have both sides equally far.
No.
Because those are 60 points, and I think this is for each level 1.
I don't think
the trees we see is from the end of Shadowlands, from a level 60 character.
Yeah, but I do think that they would not make it that way because that sounds silly. And it's basically you get 1 in Druid and 1 in Balance because they did say something around those lines.
No, they said because the spec you take of 1 or 2 on the class are already filled in for you.
Yes, the one on the class part, which is probably the one that, like, the class part is probably from level 0, from level 1, and the specialization, because that is the part that unlocks at level 10, is from level 10. But, like, the thing is, I do think that we get 1 on each side per level. Because otherwise it would just be weird.
Yeah, but 30?
Also, like, again, why show a fully maxed out character?
Maybe that's just a max out till Shadowlands.
Again, it would be weird if you would have one on Druid next and one on Balance and one there, one there, one there, one there, or whatever. Because, like, at that point, you could make an entire non-specialized build. That is, none of the specializations. You could put all of your points into Druid, and you would be basically an all-rounder Druid with no specialization. At all.
Yes. Yes.
Which is weird.
A jack of all trades, master of none.
Exactly. And, like, it would be weird. If they do it, interesting. But it would be weird. And,
But then I also wonder what the two separate on each side are.
The thing is, then I think it would be like from level 1 to 10, you get +1 on... No, you get a couple free ones, they said. So maybe
Yes.
from level 1 to 10, you just have to deal with a couple free ones you got, and from 10 on, you get 1 per level. Because they did say 1 per level. They did straight up say 1 per level. I just don't know if it's... And that's the thing. I'm very curious about this. I love talent systems like this, especially because it feels like every level you do, every step you take, you make progress. And I love that. I love that in RPGs.
Please to 1-4-32.
You know that we're not on the same.
Yes. Which I'm having the YouTube video open now.
I
not
mean,
the
so
Twitch
do
one.
I.
Yes, about 1 hour 4 minutes, about 30 seconds.
You know
Because
that you can hover over the bar and it tells you the exact...
Yes, I paused on that part now.
Spec you've chosen.
About 30 seconds?
Because there's another
Have some
spec
ability-
tree not filled out. And there's only 1 point on one side and restoration has no points.
Yes, because they said you will get a couple free ones
free.
when you start out. So I
Yes.
assume this is level 1.
This is level 1 probably.
And I think the specialization, as it has always been, will be unlocked on level 10.
Did you get on the left side 10 more than right? But then it wouldn't make sense if it's only 30 points to go onto trees or lanes
I
down
think
to the bottom.
The thing is, probably if you just put 1 into everything, but if you remember how World of Warcraft worked back in the day, or like some things still work.
Yes, some need 3, yes.
Yeah, some need up to 5 to put in there. Like it's
on the-
different.
on the
Some need
on the
1, some need 2, some need 3, some need 5.
On the full filled out one trees of here, there was the max I saw was 3.
Yeah, like for example, with between Classic, Burning Crusade, and Wrath of the Lich King, basically, you just got 2 more rows that you could fill with 10 points in total. Or like 3 more. Yeah, actually, I think it was 2 more rows and or 3 more rows, depending on the class. And you could spend the 10 points spread across those rows. And I think it will be a very similar thing here. That like for example, of course you could potentially, just because they showed it off here doesn't mean that it's how it's going to be in the end, but like, for example, you could go click 1 on everything, but they're on the weakest level as soon as you reach 1 in everything at the bottom.
But maybe on some that you can't progress if it's only 1, but they have to be maxed out.
Exactly. And actually, that makes it way easier to design a tree like this.
Also?
Well, design not graphically, but, well, also graphically, but more so like, okay, how to do the progression.
Also, I see we have choices on some things. I would pick out this.
We have a
one
shit
for
ton of choices. I don't know what you're talking
No,
about.
no. Now I'm on 1 for 50.
Which is probably way later than I am.
This is an opportunity to put a lot more.
Which is where he highlights incarnation.
Yes, because this is probably one of those talents where, when you look a little bit more up from the Tree of Life, where there are 2 yellow arrows on the side, where you can maybe pick two different things. That's what I mean with additional choices. Not only filling those out, but also having one or the other.
Okay.
Because here, Tree of Life is one, and the other thing looks almost like Convoke Spirits,
I
but
hope
that would probably be not it.
I hope they don't double down on making inscription useless. Because for example, they made digging for artifacts in the ground.
Yes.
What was that profession called? Archaeology. They made archaeology legitimately straight up just useless in Shadowlands. Like, they literally straight up says, oh, archaeology doesn't work in Shadowlands. There is no archaeology in Shadowlands. And that made me so sad. I mean, sure, it makes sense in the Shadowlands. What?
Yes. It's the realm of death. Where would there be bones to excavate?
Well, then again, there were bones and things to excavate and stuff. Like, in the end, like Maldraxxus and the whole ruined by the void bit, and the whole
You
light
know how
bit.
I meant that.
I know how you meant that, and I know that that is probably what they were going for, but in the end, it was different. And, like...
Well, they revamped the proficiencies
and
anyway, so...
Yeah, and the thing is, every expansion, Inscription just got more and more useless, it seems like.
What now, Inscription or Archaeology?
Inscription. I said Inscription. I meant Inscription.
Okay. Yeah, because now mostly it's...
Like, now it's... now it's... Inscription... Inscription now was, okay, we get some little tiny things that you can use for crafting legendaries. But apart from that, it was so useless to take.
Crafting legendaries, special effects on skills.
Yeah, purely...
Or different shapes for druids.
Yeah, purely customization side stuff that's completely unimportant and completely like, yeah, okay, you can do it. What?
RP Flare.
Yeah, but like, so little.
Like sprinting at
But while back in the
tiger
day...
form.
Like, back in the day, you had, like, things like, oh, you can actually buy... Like, it was basically enchantments for your spells.
I know, yes.
And I miss that.
Well, but there also were the partially useless ones that basically... They also, like, changed what animal you... Polymerization...
Yeah, like, it was divided between those that are useful and those
Major
that are
and
pure...
minor, yes.
Yeah.
But still...
Major, minor, and medium or something.
Major and medium had the big effects, minor were the polymerization and little effects. Yes.
Yeah, and the little effects were non-combat inclusive. Like, like it had a division and it was fine. Like, I know, make it like make Inscription do at least something that's worth gathering the resources for. Unless you are that one class that wants it, you know?
Yeah. Well, since they revamped it, maybe they make more out of it now.
Hope so. But anyway, unless they go like, oh yeah, by the way, your character unlearned writing, Inscription doesn't work for Dragon Isles. Just like freaking archaeology didn't work for Shadowlands. God, that would suck.
I mean, Inscription, they would write with their claws, of course.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
Yes.
But yes.
Okay, now the bingo.
Yes,
to
now
get
the bingo.
that part solved.
Shush,
Yeah,
pumpkin.
Which parts do you have?
I have Dragon Isles,
Yes.
Rathian Caligos, and a lot of like reaction things I reacted to. I can't read that.
Which one?
What the fuck? Positive cutscene surprise reaction.
The Grimstone ideas probably.
I mean, Grimstone ideas definitely, because we go to Dragonland.
Yes, you can remake Lonato basically.
Not if they don't have a dwarvish-looking humanoid shape.
Fine.
Like, I wish I could.
I will make myself only myself one and level that one alone.
No, I will. Like, the thing is, I might make Clenatu's son that got lost to obscurity. Because Clenatu had a son with a shaman who lost her marbles and went to 1v1 the Lich King, and you can, like...
She weakened him for us.
What?
She weakened him for us.
I mean, she probably did 0.0001%
Motherfucker,
damage.
I was memeing!
Like, basically what happened was, like, she was like, I have to break up because I want to, I have to fight the Scourge. Like, bitch, you are not even a good shaman. Like, what do you want to do? I need to go, my people need me. And it's like, the fuck?
Yes.
In the end of the day, it was a really weird scene, and like a week later or something, the character disappeared from my friends list because it was deleted. So I was like, what the fuck just happened?
And I'll make one of the green dragonflight anyway, so maybe we can figure out stuff there.
Yeah, I mean, we still don't know the lore about it, so who knows? But I kind of have the feeling to just make the son of Clenatu, because the son of Clenatu kind of disappeared from his story in Cataclysm.
I mean, we have the function of TRP. You can rewrite that a little bit.
I mean, I have not mentioned his son because it was like the whole thing.
Yes,
do I still include him? Do I retcon it out? Because because the player of that character was kind of weird.
Yes, in the
Shut up,
profile of the
pumpkin.
son.
What do you say?
But I mean in the profile of the son. Where you can rewrite that. Okay, anyway. New classes, new races anyway.
Yeah,
because that's one.
I will have at least one.
Yes.
If not, no, I will have at least two. I'm not gonna lie. I will have at least two.
Also one on the horde or what?
I mean, yes. Then it might actually be 4. I am gonna remake everyone into dragons.
Don't give me ideas, no.
Anyway, I love that.
Cosmic Chart Expect, no light base, no life nature? Yes?
What do you mean?
On your bingo card.
Oh, wait. You saw my... Light
yes, I still have it open.
Yeah, okay. What the fuck was...
What the fuck and Grimstone ideas. Then break from the usual mains?
The thing is, what the fuck...
You said yes to that.
Hold on. The WTF was the Titanforged guy that was just such a bro moment. I want to hug him. Instant Grimstone ideas? Yes.
Yes.
That is true, because the Grimstones have been connected to the dragons ever since Clenatu found out he is one.
And if not, we will make that connection.
The thing is, they were closed off for 10,000 years, and the Grimstones did not even exist for 1,000 years, so... New class? Bing!
New class, new race, yes.
Break from the usual mains, which is the usual main characters, aka, Jaina and
I would say
stuff.
Yes. But we get Alexstrasza, and they don't...
Alexstrasza hasn't been in the picture for a while.
Yeah, Cataclysm, I would think.
And we will go with the Explorers League, and it sounds a lot like the faction leaders will stay behind.
Probably. Yeah.
If that
so
is the
maybe-
case, which we do not know yet, that is a I have a bingo in that row
Yes.
because we got a new class and a new race.
Yeah, because this is now only just the expansion reveal.
Yeah.
So
Like,
yes, we stick
Ah.
with this now. Yes, you have a bingo.
I almost
Maybe-
have I let's say I have probably a bingo because the break from the usual mains. If they bring Jaina and Thrall onto the Dragon Isles, then I can't call that a bingo. Cosmic Chart X Pack.
I would
We
call
don't
it
know
now
yet.
I would call it now a bingo because we haven't seen them yet. This chart I take only for this reveal just now.
No, for me it is a general. But yeah, Cosmic
Okay,
Chart
then-
expansion.
Then we part
No.
that. No.
Not
Light-based,
so
no.
far. Light based, no. Life nature, no. No, it's not life nature based.
Okay, yeah.
Like Cosmic
that's not-
Chart
it's not-
life nature based.
Yeah, it's not only okay.
Void stuff.
No.
I mean, there's probably somewhere at some point void stuff because Black
We
Dragon
haven't-
Flight.
Nah.
What do you
Black
mean?
Dragonflight is void?
No, but the entire story of the Black Dragon Flight is Neltharion got brainwashed by the Void.
Ah.
So if there's Black Dragon stuff, there's bound to be at least something about old gods and Void
But
involved.
on my version of your chart, I will take it as a no because we haven't fully seen something like that.
No, it will be mentioned, but mentioned isn't like a main theme. So
On the
no.
what we know now.
Yes, but on the standard what we know now, Black Dragon, like Rathion's whole deal was said, and Neltharion was whole said. So it would be mentioned, but not part of the main deal. So it's a no. World revamp, no. Player housing,
no.
Sadly, no. However, the way they talked, with experimenting with new ideas and player feedback and like the things they
Soon
are
TM.
changing, it sounds like it is that it's not a no.
Soon TM.
So maybe.
Soon TM.
But for this it's a no because they haven't like talked about it.
Said something, yes.
Cool neutral cutscene reaction. We had that as well.
Yes.
We basically had both in between. Dragon Sworn.
Yes.
In technicality, but not really.
Not the Dragon Sworn, but partially. So
No. The dragon knights are
right. Yeah, that's
a
something
completely different
Okay.
thing.
Okay,
Dragons. So maybe the Dragon Sworn will make an appearance because if they will make an appearance, it will be now. But let's give that a no in technicality. Direct story thread continuity flow.
No.
I mean, they
They
did
said
say the world is healing and the power, and like that we cut off the Jailer's Beam, and the Jailer's Beam got back, and it was that Azeroth is now able to heal, which was a thing they mentioned in the cutscene as well.
I will watch that after.
50-50, I'd say. I'd say it's a 50-50 on that note.
So okay, it's a half one then.
New zones. I mean, given.
Yes.
Unpredicted surprise, which is a definite yes, because
Yes.
we got a
Class race.
a
The
new
race
class race, which is exclusive class race, which is a completely thing. WTF unclear first cutscene reaction. I mean, no, but it's good stuff. Jaina stuff, no.
Anduin stuff, no.
Anduin stuff, no. But there's potential for Anduin stuff because of Rathian, and they were friends. Biggie. Positive horde centric, no. Lightforged allied races may cause troubles.
No.
We don't know about that. More first one stuff, no, and I'm happy about it.
Yes.
Really, like ... Really, cutscene reaction? No, I like the cutscene. Bad narrative / story decision, in my opinion. 1.
Narrative?
Huh?
Is it the centaur thing?
No.
Oh, which one then?
The 100% it should be healer thing is damage.
Fine, I'll take that one.
Sylvanas returns as Forsaken Ruler. Frick, no. But that was ruled out at the end of the Shadowlands cutscene thingy.
Good.
Horde do bad thing. No.
So,
Not story-wise so far, anyway.
What you have one?
I have theoretically
Technically one, yes. And at least 2 or 3 to another one.
What did you have? You have to show me yours, by the way.
I will make a screenshot of both. Let's put that. Because I do the markings.
God, it's dark in my room.
Weirdly with Lightforge.
Hold on.
Not Lightforge, Lightshot.
Hold on.
Yes, I hold.
It's probably way better to see me now. Oh, yes, that's way better. I'm not lighter. Okay, you didn't got a bingo.
Did it? Did it send? Oh, yes. I was scrolled up, so I didn't see if it's got sent.
You didn't got a bingo whatsoever. I got a full bingo. Almost.
Yeah, because not the dragons. Well, fuck that.
What did you?
Battle pass. No,
why?
I mean now mine.
Yeah.
New class, yes. I go down like yours.
I can't see your entire bingo card.
That's only that small thing.
But you got the bingo card from someone else, so yeah.
Yes, but I can read that. New class, yes. Revamp talent system, yes. Khadgar returns, no. No leveling, no. Silithos sword removed, no. Not dragons, no. Nazoth returns. It's a bingo. That's one or the other.
No. What is? Hold on. What was the dragons where you said no?
Not dragons.
Oh. Okay.
Well.
No. I heard a lot of dragons and you said no, and I was like, excuse me?
Nazoth returns. No.
No.
New professions. Well, we get a revamp, which is why I meant half.
It's not new though. It is close enough to new that you can make it half. Though.
Yeah, it's a revamp. So, Galakrond?
Galakrond is.
I don't know, but I assume no.
It was mentioned.
Where?
Okay. The dragon aspects were created whatever by Tyr when they faced off against Galakrond.
Ah, okay.
That was legitimately straight up said exactly that way.
Okay. Cool then. At least one more. World revamp? No. Battle Pass? Thank God, no. Sylvanas and Cinematic? No.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Dragonflight, of course. Chromatus? No.
An evil dragon that was during Cataclysm period dealt with within a book.
So no, hopefully.
Why hopefully?
AKA hopefully he does not return then? Question mark.
The thing is, I'm not sure
because we don't
like,
know
I
the further plot
think
of this.
I think he's maybe still alive, or like has at least potential to return, because Chromatus was basically Tiamat with extra heads.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, it was basically a big dragon monster, but he had 5 heads, 1 for each dragonflight.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's hope that's not coming to pass.
Well, hope for the sake of, like, as in our characters, but story-wise, that would be cool if he would, if Chromatus would return in some way, shape, or form.
Okay. Magni returns.
I mean, in a way, the teachings... The thing is, in a way, the teachings of how Chromatus was made very, 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 very likely flew into the Dragon Knights.
Dragon? Huh?
Because they are basically chromatic, technically, because they can pick and because they are basically a mixture from all dragonflights, which is chromatic.
Yeah. So, I was not on Magni Returns, which I'm confused.
Yeah, because you continued even though I was talking. Anyway, but basically, maybe he will definitely at least be mentioned if Blizzard hasn't forgotten about him. Continue.
Okay. Agni returns. No?
Not as far as we know.
No, he's still with the Heart of Azeroth. Was he with the Explorers League, or I'm remembering wrong?
You're remembering wrong. His brother, Bran Bronzebeard, was the leader of the Explorers League.
Okay. Roster system. No?
What?
Roster system.
I don't even know what that means.
Same. So they got no. Light versus Void. No. Leveling. New expansion. I assume higher level cap. So half. Yes.
We don't know if the we still. I think it wasn't actually said if the level cap will be increased, or
but why wouldn't it be?
That's the thing. You didn't listen to me once when I talked about it earlier. Apparently. What did they do before Shadowlands? They squashed all the expansions that came before, even BFA, which was very, very recent, into 10 to 50, but you can pick and choose which one's content you want to make to level up. And it seems a lot like they will do the same thing for Shadowlands, where you basically can do the entire Shadowlands content from 10 to 50, even though the leveling part of Shadowlands was so very little and so very almost nothing that it would be weird to make it mandatory.
I doubt they make it that way.
Well, that's the thing. Making it mandatory is even weirder because, like, both options are weird. But making it, you're level 50 now you have to do Shadowlands story, and then you go into Dragon Isle story, even though you were able to pick and choose literally everything else. It's very weird because, especially because the story of Shadowlands would basically just get a little start of, the story is just starting, nothing really started to happen in the story, and then, you go off to the next expansion. Well, the other expansions, at least, like, had a big part of story that was dealt with, and then the patches were like little chapters. While in Shadowlands, the endgame content was basically almost the entire book, and the leveling was only the prologue. So it would be extremely weird in both cases.
I doubt they will condense it because I can understand that they did because we were at level 120.
And those numbers could just go higher that no one would care. That's the thing.
It would feel weird for me if they condensed now the Shadowlands story the same way.
They wouldn't condense it. They would expand it. Because it's now 10 levels.
I mean, like they did. I mean, with condensed the way they made it with the other ones.
But it's not. The word condense literally means the opposite of what is happening. It's like saying, I hope they don't make it wet by drying it. But like,
for me, I hope that they raise the cap because that would be the first expansion where they didn't normally raise the level cap.
No.
Yes, they put down the numbers, but still 2 Shadowlands you get 10 levels more.
Yes, but they took it down, and I mean, I guess it makes sense because we are max level.
Yes.
In that case.
Because why would we need to do all the other quests and instead of just focusing on the main story or the raid? Leveling.
But
why?
in
Gives
that
no
case,
experience.
hold on. In exactly that in exactly that case, the Shadowlands pushed to the timey thing with Chromie would make more sense because like from what you've said, because like questing through the entirety of Shadowlands, like only the leveling part is like, or they raise the entire leveling, like the leveling from 10 to 60 and put 10 levels on top and put Shadowlands in there. You know what I mean?
Maybe, I don't know, what the fuck. I'm getting angry again.
Why are you getting angry? There's legitimately nothing really to be angry about.
Never mind, moving on.
I don't understand. I legitimately just straight up don't understand. Anyway, moving on, correct.
FF14 min eye level? No.
Whatever that means.
I think I explained to you earlier.
Oh, that thing. Yeah, well, whatever.
So, no. At least in my eyes, no. Aspect Covenant system? No? Even though I don't know what that would mean.
Basically what we have in Covenants with Shadowlands, but
with the aspects?
But with the aspects instead of the Covenants. Which is like, come on, be a bit more creative.
They would have announced something like that, so no.
Yeah. They already announced it's basically just you level like in olden days World of Warcraft. Without a big Covenant thing and a big ending. Like they have, now that I think about it, they haven't really revealed anything about the end game.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
No, I mean they didn't like the end game content, aka as soon as you reach max level. With Shadowlands and Battle for Azeroth, they immediately said, "Oh, and as soon as you reach max level, the Covenant system, Azerite system, etc." They've said nothing like that this time, which makes me hope that there will be a bigger focus on the leveling experience again. Like, you actually going on an adventure leveling and not, oh, by the way, these are the zones, this is the bare basic of the story, now you're max level, like they did in Shadowlands.
This was just now the reveal. Why would they openly say at the reveal?
Because they did before in the past 3 expansions.
Because there was always a big bad we had to focus and follow on.
Not in Battle for Azeroth, though.
In retrospect, and what the jailer did. Apparently, because he was behind everything.
Yeah, but again, that's Shadowlands, not Battle for Azeroth.
Then I don't fucking know.
They haven't talked about the what you do at max level thing, which is usually something they always talk about.
Maybe
and not
don't have an idea for that yet. I don't fucking know. Maybe Dragonflight does some aspects of it you only get at max level. I don't know.
So, no, this is a change for better, a good change, because they like this makes people hope they put more focus again on the actual what people loved about World of Warcraft, the leveling up aspect of it, to get stronger, to get better and stuff like that. And then it's not just you just, I don't know, daddle around a small tutorial until you're max level. Like, again, like they did in Shadowlands. Like, and I really like that. Again, because it gives hope that, like, the expansion will be more than just gawking around on max level and everything else is not important. Which means leveling has big potential to be fun again because it's a bigger focus.
We'll see. Okay. Housing. No. LFR removed. Why the fuck even no?
Yeah, exactly.
Dalaran 3.0. No.
No.
It's not gonna
like whoever wrote that bingo card had no not fantasy, creativity. Imagination, that was the word I was looking for.
Cross-faction guild? No.
No. But cross-faction gameplay?
Yes. Which is why he scratched out the guild.
Yeah, but it did. This...
Huh?
You first.
I was moving to the next one. AP returns. I assume that's artifact power.
Yeah.
No.
Which was not talked about.
So,
There
yeah.
was no artifact / Azerite / Anima / whatever power system that was mentioned as far as I'm aware.
So out of those 25 things, I got 4 crossed out fully, and 3 half. New class, talent revamp, the dude just said earlier at the Dragonflight. Because the Dragonflight was no-brainer. The free middle space.
Huh. Because the picture you sent me, you just crossed out too.
Yes, because when we went through the one beneath professions, you corrected me on that one.
Anyway, I got a bingo. I actually did not expect to get a bingo at all. But I love... Like, the thing is, this is majorly good stuff. There's just one stuff I really don't look forward to. And one thing where I doubt the story decision. But in all, TLDR, if you skipped the entire stream up until this point, yeah, my subscription is going to continue going. I really want to run around as a dragon boyo with my dragon friendos. Or girlo. Maybe both.
Yeah, I probably continue to.
The amount of times you gasped and were like, ooh, I kind of could tell.
No, I mean, I'm still paying for 2 MMOs.
Well, that's...
I know
to
that's a
quote
me
something,
problem, but
yeah.
still. Not my problem. Both look interesting.
I mean... Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is it for the stream about us talking, gushing, theorizing, and thinking, putting our opinion into the hat about all of this. Again, so far positive. Most of it expected through the leaks and stuff. I didn't expect Himbo Titanforged bro who just needs a hug. And I didn't expect that we will get freaking a double whammy of class and race combo. But I also like how they did this time's reveal. Because it was like it wasn't just the same 2 and 3 people talking about everything. It was actually the different teams that worked on those things. Or like at least the lead of the teams that worked on those things that like talked about. And I really like that change up. I like that like we saw many different faces in the developer team. Faces that seem more down to earth and like more closer to we feel like us, some of them. But yeah, hold on, there was a screenshot I completely... Where was it? It was here.
So
Somewhere here.
the new
Somewhere
minimap.
here. Okay. Okay. But yes, I don't like this again. It's just not my thing. I really don't like that thing. But that is, I guess, personal taste. Other than that, damn. Yeah, I like and I'm looking forward to it. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this has been it for my reaction stream because I wanted to do this to get my voice out there for you guys, and Cramian decided to join. And yeah, for now, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like. Check the links in the description, especially the first one, because we're still raising money for charity, as you can see up there. And for now, I sincerely love all of you guys, and we'll see each other in the next video on the stream.